Everybody, Joleen Lunzer!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you are returning, smash the like. Let's set a like goal this evening of 200. Let's try to get to 200 likes. Tonight, we're going to be talking all about the latest Amber Heard, Johnny Depp, but in the way we do, which is I am a comedian, a stand-up comedian. I try to find the funny in things in pop culture. However, nothing I say here is factual. I know nothing about the law other than what I learned from Legal Bites on YouTube, Emily D. Baker, and Ally McBeal back in the day, I guess. So let's try to have some fun with the topic that is very serious, a trial that is very strange with some real characters, and be respectful and not, not be overall shitty people. So thank you for letting me get that out. Everything's alleged, everything's parody, and the ridiculousness with a little bit of our real feelings mixed in. But yeah, just let's have some fun, okay? It's Friday night. It's been a really heavy trial. It's been a heavy couple days. We had Amber Heard taking the stand. We finished up on the psychologist, the forensic psychologist, Dr. Hughes, her testimony. There's a million YouTube channels now that are covering this, especially law ones. Makes me wish I was actually a lawyer. But I just play one on YouTube. So we're going to pretend we have some filters, excuse me. And yeah, so if you want to support the channel, hit that like, smash, 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 smash. Mods, feel free to remind people to hit the like. If you want to support the channel, super chat, great way to do it while I'm live. Otherwise, you can support me on Patreon, link below. We have one YouTube membership to join the Leen Team, Venmo, Cash App, and follow me on social media. All right, that's out of the way. It's out of the way. My husband is thank you, that's my husband. He is watching The Wild, AKA Go Wild, not Ally McBeal. I didn't really learn any law from Ally McBeal. I think I just learned body dysmorphia. I don't know what I learned from the show Ally McBeal. It was funny, if I remember correctly, but also it was the 90s, and it was a very interesting time for women on television and women in entertainment. And speaking of which, we have Kate Moss references in this trial, and women were held to ridiculously high beauty standards, but also ridiculously unhealthy weight standards, which I think is still happening. I don't think we've made a lot of progress. Anywho, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Thank you. You guys are so kind. You make me feel so nice. Hello, Leen Team. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? What do we have? We got to talk. We got things to talk about. We got stuff to do. We got things to talk about. I got screen grabs. I have things that I want to show you. We have things to make fun of. We have things that you can't really make fun of, and everything in between. All right. So first things first, obviously something very important to come out of this trial. And I have to get you guys' thoughts about it because it's so serious. It's very, very serious. And I need to know what you guys think because how come I can't share my damn thing? Oh my God. If my husband is listening, could you please come over to the office area so that I may ask you a technical question? Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Until then, I'm going to have to do that annoying overlay that we do here. But this is a live show. We're making stuff happen. All right. Let's see. We want to upload this. Thank you for your patience. Feel free to say one kind thing about each other while you wait. Give someone in the chat a compliment. We could all use it after this week. I'll be honest, I did not want to go live about this after her testimonies. I didn't. I was like, maybe I can't do this anymore. This is wow. Okay. Wow. But let's get to the really important stuff. How freaking great did Dr. Curry look? OMG. Dr. Curry was in the audience when they were cross-examining Dr. Hughes. We call her not Dr. Curry, okay? And she was listening as Dr. Hughes was like, I don't know where my notes are. And, I don't know. Can men be abused? Maybe, maybe not. I don't care. She, her. I only know female pronouns, or I only know pronouns associated with women or people who identify with women, but also you can be someone and also they, them, but we're not going to get into that. Okay. So I don't know. I wish I had my cheat sheet, Mr. Chewy Chew. I wish I had a cheat sheet that I could go to, but I don't. Or Mr. Chewy Chew's friend, Mr. Ben Chew's friend. I wish I did. And she proceeded, Dr. Not Curry proceeded to say, yeah, and no, Amber doesn't have any of the things that Dr. Curry said. So no, she's a damn liar. And I don't believe it. Actually, here's how a scale works. PTSD is present. And I do not like how long and luxurious her hair is. I don't like it. Because I, Dr. Hughes, Dr. Not Curry, I have long, pretty hair too, but not that. That's like a Pantene Pro V commercial. And do you know, objection, hearsay, but first let me finish. Okay, non-responsive, I am responding. Thank you very much. First, let me say Pantene Pro V commercials. None of those chicks are using Pantene Pro V. None of them. Ask a hair professional, Ask them. They will say, no, that is not Pantene. And also, most of that isn't even all their hair. Now, I don't know if I can say that for Dr. Curry, that if she's got, a little bit of extensions, a little bit of weave in, looks good. She's got some layers. I see that working here. That is what I am an expert in, hair analysis. I am definitely an expert in that. Okay. Esco says, thank you also, Esco, for the first super chat of the stream. Hi, Joleen. Just wanted to stop in and congratulate you on 3 million views. How did you know? Did I post it? Oh, thank you so much, Esco. Hashtag you rock. I got a notification today that I had 3 million views. Did I post it? I can't remember. But thank you for being on the up and up with my views. Yes. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Throwback to salon selectives, right? If we don't look good, you don't look good. Was that Vidal Sassoon? If we don't look good, you don't look good. She looks good. Good. Thank you, Mims. Shout out to Mims. You're well on your way. You'll have way more than me very, very soon. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Curry is, so much is just bursting out of her that she can't let her hair, she can't put it up anymore. She's like, I got too much to say. I've got something to say. And it's how good do I look? How good. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you all. You're all beautiful. You're all beautiful pumpkin spice babies. And I appreciate you. If we don't look good, you don't look good. Vidal. I only know because Vidal Sassoon's daughter was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills for like one season. And that was one season too many. There was a lot. All right. So we had, if we don't look good, you don't look good. Dr. Curry in the audience. It was very interesting to watch Dr. Curry watching Dr. Hughes when they're doing the same thing, but for different sides in the courtroom. So that was very interesting to see, because when Dr. Curry had her, when she was on the stand, she definitely took, now that I have watched Dr. Hughes, she took knocks at Dr. Hughes and what she had done. Because Dr. Curry was like, it is not our job as psychologists to decide whether something is abusive, whether a crime has been committed. That is not our job to make a definitive statement that someone is an abuser. I think that I'm paraphrasing. Okay. And then Dr. Hughes it's not only my job, I'm going to do it. Okay. Captain Jack Sparrow was a dickhead. He's a dickhead. And I know because I met with Amber Heard for 26 hours. We had a little lunchy. We had a little brekkie. We had a little girl talk. She put some dry shampoo in my hair to give it extra volume. And I just realized JD is dickheado. So I am going to say that because right here in my not notes. It's actually, this is a Post-it, but thank you for asking. Even though it says notes, it's a Post-it. Let me go to page Johnny Depp's a dickhead. Okay, that is right up front, right here. Johnny Depp's a dickhead. Not reading from my notes. It just says, definitely Johnny Depp did it. Guilty all the way, May. Whoa, so guilty. Holy crap, his breath did stink, like Amber said, when he was smoking weed. Have you ever kissed anyone or been with anyone who smokes weed and drinks? Ugh, talk about bring a barf bag, you know. But, you know, it depends. If you're still going to make out with them, you know, it depends on, you know, how hard up are you? Do they have money? You know, stuff like that. Let's see. Breath stinks. Definitely guilty. Nothing's wrong with her. No, nothing. I don't see. Nope, I don't see anything wrong with her. Can women hit men? I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Yeah, they can actually. Is it likely? Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sure. Can men be abused by women? No. I mean, nah, I don't know. Yeah, let me see my notes. I just have Johnny Depp as a dickhead over and over written. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Can you, excuse me? No, it's not notes. This is one Post-it. This is it's a postcard, actually, to my grandma. How rude of you. Dear Grandma, Johnny Depp is a dickhead and definitely guilty. Me and Amber Heard are going for blowouts this weekend. Oops, I wasn't supposed to read that part out loud. Sorry. We're friends till the end. She wrote me in a cameo in Aquaman 3 because she might be out of 2. We don't know yet. But she's hoping to get back in 3. Wasn't supposed to read that part out loud. Anyways, Johnny sucks. Johnny sucks. Johnny sucks. Ben Chu's face looks like it was hit with a snow shovel. Oh my God, I shouldn't have read that out loud, but I did. I wish I had my notes, right? Oh, anyways. So yeah, it was very interesting to watch these two women watch each other, even though I guess Dr. Hughes isn't watching Dr. Curry. And I do wonder if Dr. Curry is going to come back on the stand, because I would like to hear her response to what Dr. Hughes said, because it is so different. That's the thing with this case. We have two very different stories being told here. And so it can be hard to follow at times. These last 2 days were definitely hard to follow. Let me see if I can share this video I uploaded. So that was one of my favorite moments. Okay, let's share this. Oh, wait, let me see if before I do. Oh, I can't access. Try capturing on a different screen. What in the freaker fracker? Husband, are you around? Let me yell for my husband. I'm going to mute myself. Hold on one second. And we're back.
Go wild.
Go. Oh gosh, my husband says go wild. Okay. Okay. So
don't do full screen. How about that?
I am, when I go to share, we're doing live tech, you guys, if you want to be a part of this. Now, yeah. I want to share that, right? And then it says the browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen. I only have 2 screens. Okay. Go not full screen.
Now try.
Now try, he says. Okay, we're going to try this, you guys. We're live teching. No, and then even when I put a picture over there, it won't let me do it.
Close settings.
All right, you guys, hold please. While you're waiting, I'm just going to put up a little bit of, well, actually, no, we're just going to do it live here. My husband will do it and I'll keep talking. How about that? Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you, husband. Okay.
Talk about the Wild, though. No, I'm just joking. You keep doing it.
Yes, the Wild are amazing, and they are playing the St. Louis Blues tonight. And they killed it. Last game. This game they're winning 2-0, correct? So far they're winning 2-0. Is Fleury goalie?
Yeah.
Okay. Kaprizov, did he get another hat trick?
Not yet.
Nope, not yet. Eriksson should have had a hat trick, but someone was offsides or something. So he didn't get one last game.
Moose was.
So hashtag screw Moose. I don't know what I'm on.
Don't screw Moose.
Oh, don't screw Moose. Just keep it real with Moose. I'm probably going to lose a lot of viewers unless you're really into hockey, which I actually was watching the Wild game the other night. My husband was at work and I was texting with my family in Minnesota and texting with my husband. And I was like so excited. And it was pretty late. It was probably like 10:30 at night.
I have to quit and reopen Chrome.
Oh, no. Does that mean I'm going to go off?
For like a split second?
Then they'll get rid of my whole stream.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Why does it do this?
I don't know.
What did I do?
Well, why don't you check your security settings before you go live? Like
What?
share before you go.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of checking.
Okay.
But I thought the moral of the story is I thought I was watching the hockey game live. I wasn't. I was watching it. It
Do
was
you want to share
a replay. I do want to share. All right, guys, I have to tell them because I'm just going to abruptly leave. I'll be right back. So look for my stream and we're going to get this fixed. I'm back. I'm back, baby. We're back, baby. We are back. My husband is the greatest.
There
Okay.
you go. Now you can. It's right there.
Really? Add it real quick. Let's see if it works.
Oh, yeah.
Even though there's nothing on it right now. Oh my God. I'm so excited. I love you. Go live your best life.
Yeah, you say that.
You're amazing.
And then the chores come.
You're amazing. Oh my God. I owe you something. I don't know what yet. Okay. Negotiations in marriage. We are back, baby. So yeah, go wild. I thought I was watching the game live. I was texting my family like, oh my God, can you believe it? Erickson just got a hat trick, first hat trick since the North Stars. The Wild were the North Stars, which inside Minnesota, okay? You have to be inside Minnesota to understand some of these references. Mike Madonna days, all right? And then my brother's like, why are you watching this now? It's like 12:30 Central. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm in California, so obviously they're playing later. And he's like, no, you're not watching it live. And then Chell was like, you're not watching it live. So it happens, okay? Shout out to husband, yes. All right, okay, here we go. Let's do this again. So we talked about we'll talk more about our Dr. Curry and our Dr. Not Curry. And I want to share who the VIP, very important person, who my favorite character is. And I think you guys probably know while I'm pulling it up here. Can you guess who do you think is my favorite character right now in this trial saga? Who would Joleen be like, oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. That person is the person. And if you get it right, I will, I don't know, smile, tell you I love you. Maybe I'll send you a bracelet. Okay. Nanya, you're hilarious. Yeah, smash that like. Chewy, no, but no, not Chewy. The assistant, I mean, yes, was, but I have a new favorite. Not Elaine. It's not Elaine. Even I don't hate Elaine. I do love the Australian assistant, which we'll get into that too, because there were allegations made against my friend, the Australian. Rashida Taylor, you are so smart. It is Camille Vasquez. It is Camille Vasquez. Yes, it is. All right. Rashida, if you could email me at joleenreacts@gmail.com, I will send you a prize, a valuable prize. I don't think I've ever sent you one before, but I make bracelets. That's how I keep the rage inside. All right. I watch reality TV and make beaded bracelets, and I will send you some. If you send me your address, I will mail you some bracelets. Put in the email some of your favorite colors, and I'll try to incorporate, but I have lots of options. So if you like beaded bracelets, I am your gal. All right. I have been known to close down a Joanne Fabrics on up. What is it? It's Friday. I should be closing down Joanne Fabrics, but I'm here with you beautiful people. So joleenreacts@gmail.com. We'll give away more bracelet prizes today because this is some heavy shit. And if you've been following it, I hope you've been taking care of your own mental. And if you're triggered by anything, and if you've had anything in your past, I want to make you guys feel good. I want to make you laugh. We want to have a good time. All right. So that I don't have to make this many bracelets just to stay alive. Okay. No. But Camille is my favorite. And the reason that Camille really is, why did I do that? Is my favorite over this week is because, I mean, I'm pretty sure I called all of this, but I'm sure other YouTubers did too. So I can't take all the credit, but, we did see this connection between Johnny Depp and Camille Vasquez. I don't care what anybody says. We did also see a connection between Johnny Depp and Ben Chu. And we saw a connection between Amber Heard and Elaine. I don't know if that connection's still there, but there were moments in time where we found this connection between them. And I'm like, they could all be a couple. All right. But Camille and Johnny, there's just something there. Now, it could be this is his team's way of, both sides have to show their clients, from my understanding, just as a spectator and watching Emily D. Baker and Legal Bites, shout out to those two channels, always and forever, that their client, is the person they are claiming them to be. So or they're the person not that the other person's claiming them to be. So in Johnny Depp's case, his team has to show the jury and also the world, because this is on television. Remember, Johnny Depp wanted this televised and Amber Heard did not. And now I think I know why Amber Heard didn't want this televised. This is a whole mess. All right. Very messy. So they have to show them that Johnny Depp is not this horrible abuser of women, is not this monster. So put him next to Camille Vasquez and have them have this seemingly genuine connection, have him show some chivalry, pull out the chair, have her touch him softly. That does a lot for our psyche. That convinces us of a lot of things, how people act and what we see them do. That's why everybody overanalyzes the faces Johnny makes, the faces Amber Heard makes, the faces that, anybody makes, the Australian assistant, Kate James, the faces she makes, because that is us reading these people so that we get a greater understanding of the characters in all of this, So this is it's a throuple. Yes, a throuple. So it's very important. So I really have enjoyed. So now I've enjoyed watching Camille, and now Camille is going to be cross-examining Amber. And it is, thank God we have a week off, because I don't know if I can take this. I don't know if I could take this right away. We still probably have what a lot of the lawyer channels I watch are saying, another full day of Amber testimony, or maybe more, actually probably more. Well, full day before she gets to cross, a full day, because we are not even in 2016 yet. I don't even know where we are, because 1 minute we're in 2013, 1 minute we're in 2012, 1 minute we're back in somewhere outside of Austin talking about horses and Catholic school and getting your GED. And I have no idea. Okay. We're all over the place with this. So we still have time with Elaine, questioning Amber, but now we're going to get Camille, which everyone was like, oh my God, we're going to get Camille. This is crazy. But as I've watched, such a good choice, because Camille is calm. She's just a great, I don't want to say adversary, but for Amber Heard, I can't think of another word right now, to put kind of up against. What was the word, honey? Foil. A great foil. Like hair foil. You're staying with the trend of the show. Thank you, Chow. Thank you, hype my husband, Chow. So, we have women, not to break it down this way, but that's how it is. This is an LA story. We have two attractive, around the same age, young women. I mean, I think Camille's like 40, Amber Heard's 36. So this is so strategic that they had Camille next to Johnny Depp this whole time. And then we see this connection. And I'm just like, what? And then as Camille is listening, so she's in the driver's seat right now. And as she's listening to Elaine question Amber Heard to tell her story, which has just been so cuckoo. I mean, I thought Johnny Depp's was hard to follow at times. No. Johnny Depp's was, he was like, and then me and Hunter S. Thompson, we did some mescaline, and I called up that one guy that Amber hates. I forget his name. He's British. He's married to Jennifer Connelly and Paul Bettany. And we tweeted back and forth to each other about Monty Python because we love it. And then I looked up directly at the sun, even though you're not supposed to, but I was on peyote. So your eyes are actually safe when you're on peyote. And then I wrote a letter to my late mother with my toenails. And my sister Christy came in and gave me a glass of water that I drank through my earlobe. And that was right before the wedding. And we all did MDMA, and we touched each other's genitals. So there you go. And I was like, oh, okay. But Amber Heard's is a different kind of confusing, where at least with Johnny Depp's, I'm like, that's his stream of consciousness. Amber Heard's testimony, just from my perspective, watching it, as someone who knows nothing about anything, but, telling dick jokes, I was like, but there's so much I don't remember. And then, well, where's the time frame? So immediately when Amber Heard gets on the stand, I was like, she's coming off very likable. The first day with the suit, the hair like this, she's talking about her childhood. I didn't follow the story in the UK days. I didn't want anything to do with this. I didn't want to watch two rich, 1%er Hollywood people fight with each other. So I didn't pay attention. And then one day I let myself slip into this trial, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is good. This is good. Once Johnny Depp started talking, I was like, I'm in, I'm all in. I didn't know these things about him. So that's kind of how I got introduced. So when she first took the stand and she's talking about her childhood, and she's talking about, dropping out of school, and, she got a scholarship, and her dad, and working class. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a little similar to Johnny Depp's upbringing. And that what we learned from Johnny Depp when he was on the stand is that, he too, I believe, dropped out of school and was like, I'm done, even though she took her GED. And I think then, I don't know if she took SATs or something. And then kind of went out to LA young. She was, I think, 17 when she said she went out there to meet with an agent after being discovered for being a actress in a local movie or something. Modeling, I don't know, whatever. And then Johnny Depp, similar. He went out there, and then he was like, oh, hey, Nick Cage. Nick Cage was like, hey, Johnny Depp, what's happening? He was like, nothing, just thinking about mescaline and obscure novels. And he's like, cool. Do you want to meet with my agent? I think you'd be good for acting. But I really like the guitar. Yeah, but you could play the guitar, but then make money from acting. Okay, I'm on board. He went to his audition. He got 21 Jump Street. Johnny Depp is born. Amber Heard, she goes out. She meets with this agent. She does, Zombieland, Pineapple Express, James Franco. And I don't know. I don't remember the movie she was really in. Okay, but she has a similar. So I can see that, okay, they both wanted to get out of the towns they grew up in. All right, that's what they could have had in common. They both left high school early. Okay. They both moved to LA young. Okay. So now I'm starting to see maybe reasons why they connected. If, in fact, they talked about that stuff. Because we also learned from Amber Heard that, she met with Johnny. Apparently there was no audition. There were no lines. You have to read any lines. She just went over to his office, and they talked about poetry and books and whiskey or something, and wine, not whiskey. But at the time she's 22, and he's, what is he, 50? I don't know. It's a big age gap. No, it's probably like 40, late 40s. And so initially I'm like, ugh, gross. No, thank you. You know what I mean? But then I'm like, well, she kind of did have to grow up maybe a little fast because she, moved out to LA. So maybe she did read those books. I mean, I know what I was doing at 22, and it wasn't reading. Well, I was majoring in poetry, or minoring in poetry, I should say, and writing really shitty poetry. But I didn't know, I knew Anne Sexton and Sylvia Plath. And that was the extent. I wasn't finding obscure things. It was very down the middle. It was, did you put your head in an oven? Yes, I know you. That's about all I knew. But and I didn't know about wine. I just knew about Scooby snacks and getting drunk and taking shots at 22. But apparently she had been working in the business a little bit longer. So anyways, it made it maybe a little less creepy that they got together so young. But when she was telling the story early on, I was like, okay, a lot of this sounds believable to me. It's just someone watching, sounds believable. It sounds like that is the truth, when she's first telling her origin story. But I did find it interesting that she didn't want to talk a lot about her dad. And we have a lot of instances in this trial where it has been referenced that there was abuse when she was growing up, and addiction, but there wasn't much talk of that. And I figure you'd kind of lead with that. But no, they really didn't talk about that. So I found that interesting. But then as that day went on, and then the next day, as she's recounting all these instances, it was a lot. And I feel like now, having gone back and watched a little bit of the UK videos and testimonies and reading enough stories about this, there are details that maybe might not have been there before. And then it's just a lot of, I don't remember over here. And I think this happened then. And then we're just jumping from one time to another. It's kind of like we're watching Requiem for a Dream or something. Everything is very just, it's like a collage of events rather than a, static timeline to follow. And in court, that can be difficult. And if I was a juror, I would be very confused at this point. And so it's been very interesting. But back to the Camille Vasquez. So this is why it was so great that they put Camille in this position, because Amber Heard is talking about her allegations are very, very heavy. These are so heavy. I mean, the stuff she's claiming Johnny Depp did to her is horrendous. And any of these guys, if Ben Chew stood up and was like, objection, full of shit, he would be done. Like, the jury would turn on him. It would look bad. But Camille has been able to object, try to keep it on track, for her client and for the story overall, in a very calm demeanor. I think you have to have a woman in this regard doing this. I just don't think it would look good at all. You have someone claiming this very serious violence against them by a man, and then you have this dude like, no, non-responsive, no, not going to do it, don't believe it. That would look so bad. So, and Camille comes off soft yet assertive at a very sensitive time. So I feel like she's killing it. And she had so many objections. And I don't know anything legally about objections other than, kind of what they are. But now I watch enough Emily D. Baker and I watch enough Legal Bites to be like, that is some damn hearsay, because no, you can't tell me what that person said unless you have it in a text. Where is your proof? I don't know. You can't just because you said he said it doesn't mean that they said it, and they're not even here and they haven't even testified. So then I feel a little bit like I'm learning something. Okay. But she's able to do it in a way. And what I've learned from these law channels is that what Camille's doing is obviously, she's working for her client, Johnny Depp, but she's also, this can kind of throw a wrench in the other side. And, in Amber telling this story, it can get them off, it can get her off her game, if you will. It can, make Elaine look a certain type of way, because Elaine then comes in and she's only working on the behalf of, Amber Heard, and Elaine's way sassier than Camille. Elaine is like, sassy, okay? And Elaine is like, well, she is just saying how is she supposed to tell her story? But what Elaine's doing is she's leading a lot of this shit, so objection, leading the witness. I don't know if that's a real objection, but I feel like I've heard that, because she'll go, and what was in that bottle that you picked up from the bathroom, even though Amber hasn't even said she picked up a bottle from the bathroom. And then Amber goes, I didn't even remember that. Thank you for reminding me. It's like, apparently you can't do that. But Elaine's doing that. And then every time there's an objection, she's like, not my gal. She's killing it. Can we let her finish? And then Elaine will sometimes talk through the objections, but Camille delivers it in a very, a very assertive, a very, like I said, soft. She has a commanding presence in that you respect her, but it doesn't come off like she's being mean, like she's trying to antagonize Amber. It just feels like she really is abiding by, and this is all my, interpretation of it, but she's just abiding by the rules of the court. So yeah, Atharella says Elaine was leading a lot. Yes, she did let a lot slide. And Penny, Judge Penny is just like, oh God, can we get in? Do you have this in evidence? I thought you had this in evidence. Can we, Judge Penny's very nice. She's a very nice lady with a very nice perm. Okay. She is a very nice lady, but she was getting annoyed. because it was just constant. Well, can I see that? What can I see that? And she's like, what is this? What are we doing? I mean, this case is very trying. And then I would like to play this clip. It's 0.6 seconds to 0.8 seconds. You're going to hear what sounds like a goat dying, but it's actually Mr. Depp in the bathroom, possible explosive diarrhea, maybe MDMA, or, you know, wine. We don't know. We don't know. Okay. But you're going to hear him. They played a clip of Johnny Depp again on a plane. I don't know. I'm on a plane. I can't complain. And he was like, I mean, I've been fucked up before. I had to quit alcohol 10 years ago because I made noises similar to that. But also food poisoning. I don't know. It just like the times that the camera is pulled out of the recording device, I should say, or your phone to record are very interesting. So what we're getting for evidence is like, but why did you think that was something? Him just going, you know, he could have been mimicking a goat. He's very LA. He could be doing goat yoga. He could be doing a really shitty job learning another language for a movie. He could have been in character. Actors are weird. Okay. So that, I don't understand what that proved. We know Johnny Depp gets effed up. Like, if anything, I hope when we get out of all of this, and by we, I feel like we're all in this together now, that both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard get help for substances, because they're not helping either of their cases. It's like, it's one thing to get effed up, but then when you are, you know, we got 1,000 people here, you guys, make sure you smash that like. Thank you for joining. Now we're down to $9.99 because, you know, people were like, F you, girl, we're not giving you 1,000. But I feel like once you get to a certain age and you got kids involved, you got to calm it back. You got to, Johnny Depp, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but it's, you got no peyote. You got the wine too much. How about just a little reefy? Just a little reefy. If you got to be California sober, you know, and that it's one sober gal to another. You got to get it together. You got to get it together with this alcohol. And as does Amber Heard, because we hear so many stories, despite her, you know, talking as though she has no issue. She has no substance abuse problem of her own. You do, miss. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. But last I checked, most people I know don't get married. And on the invitation is, you know, dining and drugs and, you know, MDMA for everybody. I got married, and had I given my mother-in-law MDMA, I guess it is very LA of them, but just no, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. No, thank you. Yeah. Hit those likes, you guys. We got 994. I mean, it's not an everyday healthy occasion, I don't think, to just be doing MDMA. And listen, if you do MDMA and all you want to do is, you know, rub each other and have great sex, then keep doing MDMA. You're doing it right. But if you do MDMA and you want to throw stuff and yell at each other and break up and ruin your time on a private island together, then you shouldn't do MDMA. I thought, according to Miley Cyrus, that's supposed to be like the fun drug, the party in the USA drug. But apparently not according to these two. Okay. So just chill it on the drugs. Chill it on the drugs and alcohol. It's not doing anyone any favors. This is embarrassing. All right. But back to Camille Vasquez. So here I want to play this little compilation of her objections so we can watch it. And also shout out to Blondie Junior Associate. I know her name. I'm going to pull it up here because I was trying to, I don't think I found her on the list. I was looking at the Brown Rudnick list looking for all the lawyers. And I was specifically looking for her because she held that legal pad like a champ. She's been killing it, heading up to see Penny at the bench. I found this little guy. I found the other little guy, Andrew Crawford, who's an associate. And I think she's an associate as well, just because she looks really young, but she could be full Ally McBeal, and I am not giving her enough credit. We just don't know yet. Okay. But she was holding that up. She was like, no one is going to see your finger painting, Johnny Depp. We are not going to show anybody. All right. You are safe to paint away with your fingers. So let's take a look now, and let me know if you guys can't hear it in the chat, but let's take a look at some of her objections, which were just so good, so soft, so good.
He would not remember what he had done.
Calls for speculation.
How can that call for speculation?
I'll sustain the objection. And if
Calls for speculation.
She can say why she did it and what she thought.
But that last part called for speculation. I'll sustain the
Don't
objection.
say I knew. I don't think it's non-responsive. She's explaining.
Both kind of under their breath asked me, "Are you okay?"
Objection, hearsay.
I spent the rest of the time looking out of the window. Sustain the objection. Explaining or
Objection, non-responsive.
She's telling the story.
Objection, non-responsive.
I'll sustain the objection.
Hotel staff had been sent up to the room because Johnny
Objection calls for hearsay and speculation.
I'll sustain the objection.
So
Objection, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
and they wouldn't put him under because of all the coke. So,
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
All right, I'll sustain as to the
Foundation.
last part.
Okay.
all right, say, what am I going to do? Can you
Objection, Your
believe
Honor,
this?
hearsay.
Sorry.
All right, I'll sustain.
I don't know. That was offered to prove the truth of the matter.
I'll sustain.
In any event. All
I'll
right.
sustain the objection.
Okay. So
Objection, objection, objection. It was just a constant, but it was just delivered in a way where I wouldn't even be offended by it. Like, that is it. There was a point, even Amber Heard, there were points where she was like getting very upset about it, but there's also points where she was like, you're right. That is I did do that. I can't say that. I shouldn't say that. That means someone else should have been there. Thank you, Camille. I feel as though she even delivered it in such a nice way, which could be kind of bad for Johnny's side, because I guess you could get this on cross. If Amber Heard is in fact this person that Johnny Depp says that she is, then, pulling out that part of her personality would be very good for their side. If they are claiming that she's the violent one, because basically the two sides now, Johnny Depp has to convince, and his team has to convince the jury that he is not the abusive one, that she is, and that these words that she wrote in the Washington Post op-ed were in fact defamation and were lies about him, and took money out of his pocket and work out of his pocket. Work out of his pocket. I don't know if that made sense. But Jacqueline, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate you. So that could come up in cross. That's why cross is going to be so crazy. And I am so glad again that we have a week off from this, because it just was not fun. Amber Heard's testimonies, and I know it's not supposed to be fun, but it wasn't. It was much more fun even hearing from Johnny Depp. It was the Amber Heard stuff the allegations are so bad that it just is. If this woman is not telling the truth, this is really, and I wonder, who are they going to pull? Like, who do we get to talk to from Amber's side? Whitney, I believe her little sister Whit, I think she did testify or did give a statement for the UK trial. I remember seeing something about that, but will she be called to the stand to testify, since we have this event that Amber Heard spoke of, where she did in fact hit Johnny Depp? And she said this is the first time she ever connected a direct hit, a Mortal Kombat direct hit on him, because she feared that he was going to hurt her sister, and maybe similar to this thing that was put out there. I don't know if it was put out there by Amber Heard or if this was ever a rumor. I never heard it, but there was something that Amber Heard had said that she heard, that he had previously pushed ex-girlfriend Kate Moss down the stairs. Now, I went on the lookout for Kate Moss interviews to see, did this ever happen? As far as Kate Moss tells it, that didn't happen. But there was something very interesting that happened during this trial and during Amber Heard's second day of her on the stand, is that she mentioned this Kate Moss incident, and Ben Chewy Choo Choo, he looked thrilled. Okay, let's take a look at this little clip that I uploaded here. Yeah, the truth is always somewhere in the middle, because there's some stuff that she says, and I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I want to wait till the trial's over, but I do believe Johnny Depp is jealous. I do. Totally. I believe he's like insecure. And I also believe Amber Heard is insecure, because LA and acting, that profession is inherently insecure. You're very competitive with your fellow actor, even if you try not to be, even if you meditate till the cows come home, even if you smoke all the weed Los Angeles County has to offer, it's still a very cutthroat, competitive industry that's based on looks, and it is based on, there's ageism and there's all these things. So of course, and a lot of these actors love humping each other. You always hear like, oh, this one was in a movie with this one and humped him and cheated on his wife. And you're like, why did you do that? Why do you even get married if you're an actor? I feel like if you're very attractive and an actor or actress, just don't get married and just hump everybody. That's really what you should be doing, but they're not doing that. So when they talk about these bits of jealousy they both have, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board. I totally think that happened. Now, other things that are being claimed, I don't know if I'm fully, as someone watching this case and as putting myself in somewhat of like a jury space, even though I'm looking at information on the internet every day and the jury's not supposed to be, even though, do any of you really believe that no one is looking at, none of these jurors are looking online? I don't. Okay, let's take a look at this clip where she mentions Kate Moss. And then I put in the little circle down there because there was a different view of Ben Chewy, like he was like, oh, he just scored the winning goal. He was very excited.
Swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait. I just, in my head, instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him.
So we see Ben Chewy was like, Houston, we got her. And from what I've been reading online and what the legal channels are saying, the reason Ben Chew may have been so happy is that this opens the door to talk about past relationships possibly. And there is allegations and stories on TMZ of Amber Heard in a previous relationship before Johnny Depp being accused of DV on a girlfriend at the time. So, and also it could open up the door to maybe Kate Moss coming in and testifying, which would be kind of amazing. Just for all of us weird 90s kids, because that was the big relationship. Kate Moss, Johnny Depp, Winona Ryder, Johnny Depp, like that was wow. And Kate Moss and Johnny Depp, I think, were together even longer than Winona Ryder and Johnny Depp. And they were such an iconic couple in the 90s. And I fell down a rabbit hole looking for this stuff with Kate Moss and was watching interviews of her and her talking about her kids now and talking about how, Johnny Depp treated her so great. Like no one has treated her as well as Johnny did, which is interesting. But I also do understand that, and this is not implying that, Johnny Depp is guilty. I do understand though that, in these situations, you don't always abuse or hurt everyone you're with. Like Ted Bundy didn't kill all the ladies. He had a girlfriend. But it's just, we have Johnny saying she's the aggressor and we have her saying he's the aggressor. And so far, the only proof we have, and by proof, I mean someone saying that they hit someone, is Amber Heard saying she hit Johnny Depp. We don't have Johnny Depp saying he hit Amber Heard. We don't have him in any of the videos that I've heard saying he did that. So, but Amber Heard, her defense is this is only when super provoked did that ever happen. And this was because there was this previous story that she had been privy to about Kate Moss. And it was her sister, and it was her primal reaction to like jump in because her sister got in the middle of their fight. One of these many fights she talked about while on the stand for 2 days, which I could not keep track of when, where. Sometimes it was in penthouse, the Eastern building penthouses. Sometimes it was in Bahamas. Then it was in Australia, but not Australia when, the finger cut off. There was also Australia for their honeymoon. And then there's, private islands and Boston and a plane. And there's just so many times. And we really didn't, like I say, we didn't get a static timeline of what happened. So, so yeah, I'm not comparing the two. Don't take that the wrong way. Okay. I promise you, I don't think Johnny Depp is a Ted Bundy. I really don't. I'm just saying, like, not everyone abuses everyone. Because I remember when Lindsay Lohan came out in support of Harvey Weinstein, and I was like, Lindsay, go back to Dubai or wherever she was living at the time, you know, trying to like get involved in people's families, like on the street. She was trying to like be like, do you need help, to people's children? And you're just like, in other countries, and just don't do that. When she was like, I thought Harvey was great. It's like, okay, well, he might've been great to you, but he was really shitty to these, 20 other women. So just because he didn't do it to you doesn't mean he doesn't do it. So that's kind of where, that comes into play. Like, just because, but that the same can be true for Amber Heard though. But the thing is, we do have an allegation of abuse Amber Heard has against her from a previous relationship. So far we have no allegations of abuse previously with Johnny Depp. We have nowhere where I can remember that watching so far that he has admitted to being the abuser in any of these recordings, which they recorded each other constantly. But Amber Heard, we do. So it's like, I don't know. But yeah, it is important to remember, like, that's why it is very difficult. And it is, you don't want to, it's a hard one, because you don't want to jump too soon. I know this case has been going on forever, so everyone's like, it's not too soon, but you just never know. Just because you know just because you know Amber Heard in a certain way doesn't mean Amber Heard's going to act that way around you that she would act around Johnny Depp. Just because you know Johnny Depp in a certain way doesn't mean he's going to act that way around you that he'd act to Amber Heard. So how people act privately it can be very different. Now, we are talking about Johnny Depp being in some very, very public relationships, and this has never come up before. So that is something to really, I think that's why people are side-eyeing a lot of these stories that Amber Heard is giving. And it was very difficult testimony to sit through. She, by the second day, she got very, very emotional, describing some horrific things. And a lot of people want to know, they want to, well, everyone wants to know, the truth. Everyone wants to know what really happened, but it's difficult. That's the easiest way I can say. I'm not the judge and jury on this one, but the jury, I would say, with these allegations, I'm looking at it. Obviously, all of us were looking at it from watching it on TV, and we're not in the courtroom. And so I would say the vast majority of public opinion is Amber Heard is lying. Most people are like, they don't believe her. So I just wonder where the jury sits on this. It'd be interesting if they were sequestered, because then I would maybe think that they could go either way. But since they're not sequestered, something tells me that, I know they're supposed to take this oath, but really, who the hell can put their phone down for that long and not look at this stuff? I know they can look at other things. Okay. Let's see what you guys are saying. Betty said, the substance of their arguments has crept into many of our relationships, but testimony points to Amber being violent. I definitely see that. Through her testimony, as much as she wants to, in her delivery, I just don't understand this. We know you do drugs. We know Johnny does drugs. You guys talk about going to cuddle parties or to cuddle buddies or something. There's a cuddle puddle. What's a cuddle puddle? I don't know. I should probably Google it real quick. Sounds like some weird LA thing, She's like, then we did before the wedding and we had an engagement party. And apparently during the engagement party, he was doing, oh my God, cuddle puddles are creepy. People do this? Oh, this is a cuddle party. Okay. That's just people do that? Oh my God. That is very new age. What the hell is this? Okay, I got to show you guys a picture of this shit. What in the what of the what? What? Oh my God. Do you guys cuddle puddle? Because I do not cuddle puddle. I would feel very uncomfortable in this cuddle puddle. Okay, how many times can I say cuddle puddle? Apparently a lot. This is a cuddle puddle. And Creepy. Very creepy. Okay, let me grab this here. Where did it go? There it is. It's on Pinterest. You can find all people pin cuddle puddles. Maybe it's like a kink. That is not what you do. Those people definitely use that deodorant from Whole Foods, you know, so I'd imagine it's real stinky. Nobody's using Degree or Secret in that thing. That's too close. That is too close. If we are not having intercourse, we're not doing that. I mean, no, that's weird. That's just boner to butt, boner to butt, boner to butt. A lot of boner to butts there, a couple vag to butts, but that's a little too much. It's a little too much, guys. I don't know. This is what came up when I searched cuddle puddle. So let me see if I can find anything else on this cuddle puddle. This is very fascinating. So she was mentioning cuddle puddle, like her and her friends or them and their friends, you know, they're like, it's just like they went to that rich people's, she was like, it's like a rich person's trailer park. I'm like, what? That's not a thing. Is it? Is there a rich people's trailer park? And they went to that city. And that's where she claims that area, where she claims that Johnny Depp threatened to break the wrist of a woman who did MDMA with them and wanted to, and was like hitting on her. And Johnny was like, that's my girl, kid. That's my girl. Get off my girl. Do you know how much it takes to break a wrist? But here's the thing. Why can't we talk to that girl? Who's that girl? Who is she? Have we tried to get a hold of her? Because that would be my first thing. I would be like, I want to get her because that would show, you know, proof that he had a history of violence or, you know, threatening women. Super weird. This is cuddle puddles. I mean, no, this is that area of the dorm hall you don't go into. You know, you're just like, them kids are stinky. No, you know, lots of weird beards, a lot of neck beards there. No, a lot of t-shirts being worn multiple days in a row, just switching them inside out. You know, organic deodorant. No, this isn't good. No. So that they're cuddle puddling. They're very, very LA in that. So my thing is with Amber Heard on the stand, it's just some of the things that Dr. Curry previously said about, you know, histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder, and some of these traits that fall in line with those personality disorders, despite Amber Heard and her team saying she doesn't have those, seem to be what we're seeing on the stand with Amber Heard somewhat. You know, you see a little bit of the dramatic kind of descriptions that Dr. Curry explained, and this want to not be seen in a bad light and to kind of be, you know, the princess, if you will, and the victim. So she talks as though drugs are not an issue for her. However, we're doing drugs on your wedding day. I don't know, to me, that just strikes me as, it's not like you're just smoking a bowl. I mean, you guys are doing MDMA and who knows what else. You're drinking $500 bottles of red wine. We've heard you both now on video where you both have sound to be slurring your words, intoxicated on wine. So the fact that I feel like she's kind of trying to play up that I do not have an issue with alcohol or wine, but you do because we've heard you. And even his financial guy was like, well, the budget sure went down when she left. Okay, let's just say his wine budget is at zero now, but before he was behind with the feds and taxes because she was just guzzling that red wine. So I think she's trying to paint this picture as if, I don't know, he was drunk. It was just a lot of tea, a mega pint of tea. It was just like so much tea. He drank all the tea, and I love iced tea. Like I used to have a legit addiction to iced tea. But I think she's meaning it's tea in the form of, it's really alcohol. It's really brown liquor. And you see this that you see in people with wine drinkers. I'm sorry, I'm about to offend some wine drinkers. However, there is like this superiority. It's like, oh, you drink hard alcohol? Well, I drink wine. I don't know how drunks tend to think somehow wine doesn't get you drunk. It all does the same thing. Beer, wine, hard alcohol. It gets you messed up. And if you are someone who doesn't act very well under the influence of alcohol, no matter what you take, you're going to act like an asshole. Red wine made me an asshole. It made my mouth dry. Pinot Grigio. I loved Pinot Grigio. Oh my God, I loved it back in my drinking days. But it made me an asshole too. Because guess what? When I was drinking, I was an asshole. That's why I don't drink anymore. And I feel like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp have similar situations where they're just not their best selves when they're under the influence. But the fact that she wanted to play up as though like, well, he was drinking that hard alcohol and, I just like my wine. Almost like wine is somehow not an alcoholic beverage. And it surely is. And it'll get you funked up. All right. Thank you for the super chat, Taylor. Taylor says, I hate that Johnny had to sit through that. It's clear she's the abuser to me. She is on audio admitting to hitting him. And those pics she had for evidence were sad. Seems it could be easily fabricated. Well, I think that's the question that a lot of people have, Taylor, is we've seen, unfortunately, public photos of abuse. We see Rihanna. We've seen quite a few celebrities that have come forward and they've shown the photos of them. And if anyone remembers Rihanna's picture, it was horrendous when Chris Brown abused her. And then we see Amber Heard's. And here's the thing. Not everyone's going to look the same. Obviously, not everyone's going to react the same. It's a complicated issue. However, if you took that many pictures, and if you had, you have pictures of the lamps, you have audio of him going, like a goat in the bathroom. You have pictures of everything. But if the stuff she's alleging he did with the punching and the slapping and the hitting and the pulling, and you don't really have pictures of that, you have something that doesn't match the veracity, if that's the word I'm looking for, that you explained that the abuse came in. It just doesn't match. And that's why isn't there, it just seems like you photographed so many things that maybe like, why do we need pictures of that? So I can see how, a lot of people are coming to that conclusion. So Patty says, I need pot over. It's not even close. Had these two both been just smoking pot, we wouldn't even be here right now. Had people just did a little bit of weed, just a little bit of the ganja, a little bit of the sticky icky. Now that's, obviously you still could be here, but you don't hear. It's mostly alcohol, other drugs that really, I used to watch all the episodes of Super Cops back in the day. You never had a DV calling cops because someone was too high on weed. Never. It was never like, well, what happened? Well, he smoked a bowl and he broke the TV. No, he smoked a bowl. He passed out. He ate popcorn. He almost choked on a chimichanga. That's what happens, So alcohol is a dangerous ass drug for people that especially can't handle it. And there's actually not a lot of people that can handle alcohol. Most people act like assholes under the influence. But weed, you're just quiet, you're kind of annoying, or you're really chill, or you pass out, or you eat a lot, or you can barely open your eyes right now. Like I know one of the biggest assholes right now on YouTube. There's this asshole YouTuber, and he started smoking pot recently, and he's even a little less assholey. And he just does this now. And it's amazing. So I really advocate for that. Who doesn't love chimichangas? Okay? Who doesn't? Yes, get some tacos, Jamie. Just keep it California sober. If you don't want to go all the way sober, keep it California sober. All right. So then we got her. She talked about the infamous Australia. Okay. There are a lot of injuries too, as well, that she's like, I don't know if I broke my nose. I've had deviated septum surgery and a nose job. And let me tell you, nose shit, wow. You'll know if you break your nose. You'll know if someone's up there cranking it around. All right. And it is, if you break your nose, there's no one in the history of nose breaking who's been like, I wasn't sure if I broke my nose. Maybe like a boxer or MMA person. Maybe. You get punched so much, okay? But other than that, like how much red wine did you have? You don't know someone broke your nose? That's crazy. Okay, so then we get, her take on Australia, which is already a shit show, literally and figuratively. Okay, even though I know that's not where the shit was. We have, him at the time saying that he was trying to protect her. And he said that he did the finger thing, cut the finger off the tip. And so they've been showing multiple correspondence where Johnny Depp references, I cut my finger off on my finger, and then told, we got this Dr. Kipper. Apparently, also, Dr. Kipper bought Amber Heard, according to her, some kind of nighty nightgown for the wedding. Creepy. That's got, I mean, you got to have some boundaries with doctors here. I don't know what's going on with this doctor, but apparently he, according to Amber Heard, he bought her a nightgown, but it was lace and it was maroon or something for their wedding. Like, oh, Dr. Kipper, like, what is the deal? Okay, that's a little weird. And then according to Amber Heard, Johnny Depp took that nightgown, and there were some crazy allegations. All right, crazy allegations that he took the nightgown, ripped it up, and then took raw meat that she had left out from the night before and wrapped it in the parts of the nightgown and then left it all around the house. What? And then left notes for her, you know, like on the mirrors with paint, some blood, wrote on pillows. This is all according to Amber Heard's testimony. Through coffee she made him because he wanted Red Bull, and she said, no, coffee's better for you. She wasn't sure why, so she gave him that, and then he threw that at the TV, and he took all the lampshades off because they were ugly lamps. I will give him that. They were not, for a house that big and beautiful in Australia, it was, the lamps were pretty ugly. They were like the clearance TJ Maxx rack lamps, okay? They looked better without the shades, okay? So he took the shades off, and then he wrote like Billy Bob, you know, and then he said things, horrific things like what did he call, she said he always called her like a overachiever, or a, not an overachiever, but something like she liked to work. And I'm like, oh, no, not that. Not that. Ali says, please talk about if Amber stole scripted lines from movies when she was talking. So there was lots of allegations about this. First allegation were people were saying that she took lines from The Talented Mr. Ripley, which a lot of people have debunked. I never saw The Talented Mr. Ripley, or if I did, I was young. And they said that actually she didn't do that. It wasn't the same line. Okay. So that I've seen a lot debunked on the internet. Now, I will say the testimony I was explaining to my husband, it sounded very theatrical and movie-like. And I don't know if these actors cannot be actors. I don't know if they can be normal people, because Hollywood is weird. It is super weird. All right. So I don't know. Now, there was a line from The Crucible with Winona Ryder they were accusing her of. I didn't look too much into this because it wouldn't surprise me. It also, there was allegations, people were saying that she had possibly stolen, this is bad if it's true, but I don't know, that she had possibly taken part of her ex-assistant Kate James's essay story when she was abused. And that's really messed up. I don't know about that. I got to stay somewhat sane watching this shit. So I didn't look too much into it, Ollie. Thank you for the super chat. But I did see what everyone was talking about. And I did see that The Talented Mr. Ripley was debunked. Now there was the, so this is the one in question. Let me see if I can just play the audio here. And it's Winona Ryder and.
But I will cut off my hand before I reach for you again.
He said, I'd rather cut my hand off than ever lay it on you or lay it upon you.
So that is the line from The Crucible with Winona Ryder and Daniel Day-Lewis.
Before I reach for you again.
That I will cut off my hand before I reach you again. However, I could see Johnny Depp quoting some weird shit too, because he talks in Hunter S. Thompsonisms. I'm not saying he hit her, and I'm not saying any of that, but I'm just saying, I'm sure they both talk back and forth to each other in scripts, and they don't, maybe the lines are blurred. Sometimes I really think the lines of reality are blurred in these cases. And especially listening to some of the stuff, I'm like, some of that's got to be blurred. Okay. So that one, yes. We are seeing that.
He said, I'd rather cut my hand off than ever lay it on you or lay it upon you.
So close. And then there was some Julia Roberts movie, Tea. Lots of tea. And this is all, I got this from the Tell the World Johnny TikTok. So go support them.
Like lots of tea. Like
Lots of tea.
What happened here?
Whoa, what happened here?
And that was from an animated movie. Someone said, whoa, what happened here?
Simon made me feel like the most beautiful woman in the world. Like when I was around Johnny, I felt like the most beautiful person in the whole world.
Oh, you think it's funny?
So I don't know. But that is what people are saying. But I'm not looking too much into that. So yeah, there is some weird audio mama drama of Dr. Kipper's in it, the nurse is in it, and it's right after it happened, and they're looking for the tip of Johnny Depp's finger. I mean, this is just made for TV movie. This is made for the movies. I'm telling you, Ryan Murphy is going to be on this. It's going to be American Crime Story here. And Dr. Kipper indicates in that audio that she's acting out of guilt. And they also are indicating that she had a lack of sleep. And that's why they gave her sedatives. And she talked about that in her testimony, that after, she woke up from being given a sedative after this whole ordeal with Johnny Depp and the fingertip and the fighting and the screaming, and the blood and this Australian house when he's, filming P5. And she woke up and then found her phone, and she realized that he had recorded some of the audio of them. And she didn't remember. And then she took half of what they had given her. And what they gave her was Seroquel. Now, I don't know if anyone here has ever been on Seroquel, but I was put on Seroquel once, and it knocked me the F out. Some people are able to use it, and they build up a little bit of a tolerance, and they're able to go about their life. But it is in my experience, was a very, very strong sedative. I slept for like 16 to 18 hours. I was in my 20s. Just kind of going through it, a depressive episode, and I needed to, sleep. I couldn't sleep. They gave me Seroquel. I mean, there's more to the story, but I hated it because it knocked me out. So there's so many things that are very unhealthy going on. You have someone who's not sleeping. You have Johnny Depp who's using substances. You have Amber Heard who's using substances, and we're both recording each other, and we're in this toxic shit relationship. And now these very serious allegations are out there. It was just insane. So Dr. Kipper admits in this audio recording that he had given her Seroquel, and that, she should leave. And she's like, I don't want to leave. And he said, I feel like her reactions, that's someone who's guilty. That was just his perspective in that video. Thank you, Morris. Slipping and sliding on glass, but no pics of the feet. That's another great point. For someone who documents and takes pictures and audio of each other constantly, you would think there would be some kind of evidence toward this. Now, if this was a case where no one had any proof of anything, and nobody took pictures, and nobody was sending pictures of a bruised arm to their mom, and nobody was, audio recording each other, that'd be different. But this is a case where they're doing that. And so it's suspect. It is suspect now that this is on a national, court, TV, and this is on television. It is definitely suspect. So let's see. Exactly 100% agree with that, because she said she has so much glass in her feet and there was so much blood. Yeah. I mean, again, I hate to just talk about myself here, but all I have is my own experience. I one time was drunk and I got locked out of my apartment, and I was 27, just 27 years old. And I didn't quit drinking until I was 32. So I kicked through my window to get in. I thought I would just pop the glass in. My whole foot went in. And once glass gets into you, let's just say there's still glass in my leg. They couldn't get it all. Okay. And that was tequila. That's what tequila and wine will do to you. I thought I was literally on an episode of Cops. I'm like, bam, I'm just going to break into my own apartment. No big deal. But I was wearing capri pants and ballet flats and my leg went through and there was glass sticking out and the paramedics had to come in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I could have easily just thrown a rock through the window and I didn't. So if she had glass in her feet, you definitely want to get that checked out because sometimes I can still feel the glass in my leg. It's just like a little like, hey girl, don't drink anymore because you like to kick shit. All right. I don't know. ASMR says they said she had menthol in a tissue in hopes to, oh, who said that? Who said that? A Dark Diamond said the recording each other was suggestion of the couple's therapist because he was being made to feel like what he experienced wasn't real. That can be a true thing for people that feel as though they're being gaslit. Is you then want to, you're like, what is really the truth? Because if someone tells you enough times, this doesn't exist, it's not here, it's not true, what are you thinking? And then all of a sudden you start also not knowing what's real anymore. I mean, this relationship was so toxic. I would believe that neither of them really knew what was real and were living in some just crazy cesspool love. Sophia, thank you for the super chat. Do you know why Amber hasn't? That's what I was wondering. I don't know. I assume they're going to have somebody because the only person they've had so far, I mean, they have just started her side, but I assume, you know, they've had Dr. Hughes, which I don't think she did her a ton of favors, and then herself. But I would imagine since we have her sister and her sister has spoken before about this, you would get her sister. What about the dad? I mean, I did a little Insta snooping on Amber Heard's Instagram because it's hard not to get really drawn into this case because of such horrendous allegations. I mean, nobody wants to believe that anyone could be capable of doing this to someone or that anyone would have to go through this. Now, I know that unfortunately this does happen truly to people and people go through these horrific things, but you just don't want to believe it. You don't want to have to think that someone went through this. So I just do a little bit of, Instagram snooping, NBD. And it looked like she spent Christmas. Her dad was there. Again, family dynamics can be very difficult. I do know that, they have mentioned that there was abuse in the past and the dad with addiction. And then she threw out there, oh yeah. And my dad and him were doing drugs and my dad had fallen off the wagon. And, Johnny wasn't really there at our engagement party because he was doing drugs with my dad. And you would think her dad would want to testify, but to help her out. And, unfortunately, her mom has passed, which is very sad. So we won't, you can't. And then also that security guard of Johnny Depp's who she references and who saw a lot, allegedly, he has passed. So this has gone on for so long. There's some people who aren't even alive who to be, witnesses. So I think her sister, I think there's talks that her friend Rocky maybe, but then I mean, I don't know if she'd want Rocky to testify. I feel like Johnny Depp would call her because allegedly they might not be friends anymore. And according to Dr. Curry, she was saying that Amber Heard allegedly might have hit Rocky while they were looking for Thanksgiving food. And that's not very thankful. That's, I don't know. So I am not really sure why. I do know that James Franco and Elon Musk do not want to testify. James Franco is already in it in the Me Too stuff. He has allegations against him. He was canceled, if not on his way to being canceled. And Elon Musk is too busy running Twitter or something. I don't know what he's doing. He's too busy. He's got lots of kids. And I doubt either of them want to be involved in this. Now, what's interesting is we do hear a lot about James Franco. So she made sure to tell us that Johnny Depp hated James Franco. And I was like, who doesn't? That did it. That only made me like Johnny Depp more, that he didn't like James Franco. But I would have loved to see James Franco take the stand, but it doesn't look like we are going to see him take the stand. But he was convinced, according to Amber, that something was going on between them and he just hated him, but we do have that elevator video of those two together. And I don't know if that was of James Franco and Amber Heard. And I don't know if that was right after they broke up while they were together, but I don't know. That's another good point, Angela. It's another, there's allegations that she has been violent to her. There's just so much out there in this sphere of news around this case that I don't know. And the old saying goes, hurt people. And if we do have this history of violence in the past with her and her dad being abusive, and she did say early in her testimony, I just wanted to get out of my house. I just wanted to get out of my house. But she didn't really go farther on that. And then Johnny Depp also has this history of abuse from his mom. And it seems as though maybe they could have handled it two separate. Either they both became abusive because they were abused, or, one dealt with it one day, being as though everyone who has testified for Johnny Depp and has spoken up for him has said that they've never seen abuse, and that's not, his own sister said that's not how he dealt with it, was to be violent. It was, they kind of hid, they stayed away. They were very patient with their mom. And even though his mom was very abusive, and it sounded like they had a very traumatic childhood, he still maintained a relationship with her and cared for her into her, as an elderly woman, and when she was sick, and made sure she was very well taken care of, according to him and his sister. So, yeah, I don't know. Did I hear the body language person? I did check out someone who was talking about if this moves, something happens. I don't take all of that too seriously. Well, not all of them, I should say. There's some that are better than others. So I'm not sure. What are you guys saying about Kevin Costner? Cowboy says Amber still loves Johnny. There was it's so difficult to watch this testimony and then to see the way she's delivering what she's saying directly to him. And she's recounting what she said happened, and she's looking at him, and she's saying it and looking at him, and he's not looking up. He's just drawing. He's drawing. He is not looking up. The blonde lawyer is kind of protecting his view. And, I don't know if that is only just so that the cameras don't pick up what he's actually drawing. I mean, it was just not a fun 2 days at all. We didn't get any of the fun little gummy bear stuff. We didn't get much Camille flirting going on. No one was having certs. It just, Ben Chu, he only got one of these from Ben Chu. Elaine was all over the place. Amber Heard was, the stories were very hard to follow. It was very convoluted the way she was telling it. And I don't know if that is normally what someone in her position would do. I have no idea. I don't know. But it was very interesting to see her make direct eye contact with him. And there were times he looked up. There were times he even laughed because he said something about caring for his daughter, and then he laughed at that. And then at some of the allegations that were extremely messed up, he would be like, you could tell he was trying to control his face. But if you didn't do those things and someone's saying that about you, that would be a nightmare to hear someone just straight up lie about you. But it would also be a nightmare if it did happen to you to actually have to be on the stand and describe that. And I don't know how, a lot of people were saying we didn't see tears, we didn't see any of this stuff. And I, just from me watching it, it didn't read super well for me. As a woman, the first thing I want to do is believe Amber Heard, because I've known so many women and some men. I don't want to get, the hashtag men too people out here on me, but who have been through horrendous situations of, DV, SA, family members, so I want to believe. It's just, these stories are very hard to follow. They're very convoluted. I am very interested to see the cross from Camille and how that goes. I think she's going to handle it so well because with all her objections already, she appears to be just soft-spoken enough, but yet still effective in getting her point across. But you just have two women, like I said, similar, you know, age ranges. And I think it's a lot less intimidating to have someone like Camille cross-examine her. So, okay, whoever has it in the UK trial, you need to go watch it compared to what she's saying in this trial. Monica says it's completely deceptive and she should be prosecuted under oath for real. I've seen a couple where she was like eating snacks and talking. So yeah, I think they're going to show her UK deposition. That would actually be interesting. I don't know if they can do that, but probably. Let's see. The judge can't stop her without an objection from Johnny's team, I think. Judge and jury listen. Judge keeps things in order and proper. Dear Dana says, I can follow Johnny's story. Amber's story makes your brain feel, my brain felt so scrambled. It just felt like too much. It felt like it was a movie. It felt like it was like Gone Girl. It just felt, you know, and after hearing the audio of her and him talking and him saying, you know, why did you do this? Like, why did you put this out? I'm paraphrasing, out into the world, these abuse allegations. And she's like, you gave me no choice. You know, Johnny, I didn't want to, I tried to protect you. And it almost appeared, you know, you can speculate, objection, speculation. You can kind of speculate from that there seemed to be, you know, maybe I'm reading into too much, but there seemed to be a little bit of regret that maybe this had gotten out of control. And I talked about this on my last stream about this. I almost wish as though she could have caught it then. And then she was like, my reputation, how do I get it back? And he's like, we go to we go together, united front, we love each other. And we just say the media spun this. And he did not admit to anything in that. And it almost seemed like she was kind of indicating that she might, I think my husband's cheering for somebody on the hockey game, but she might have, you know, been indicating that she had some regrets and that she wished she could stop it, but it was too late. And I think you add in the ACLU and you add in being the spokesperson for something and you add in the timing of the movie coming out and her promoting it. And there's just so much icky LA stuff on it that, you know, well, this will be a great time to put this DV story out there because, it'll be, you got a movie coming out and then you can be the spokesperson for this. And it just screams ick. All of it just screams ick. It's just not good. It's not good. Let's see. I'm not sure about this judge, Cowboy says. I don't know. I do like Judge Penny. You know, she dealt with a lot of objections today. She did sustain quite a few. She overruled some. So, yeah, it seemed as though maybe there could have been, if this did get out of hand and she did make all this up, then that would have been a great opportunity for her to just be like, in the public eye like this, it's just everything was getting spun out of control. And I feel like there were a lot of people involved and I regret, I regret ever putting it out there. You just kind of wish there was something that would have been done before we got to this point. Because we should not be hearing any of this. This is crazy. Okay. I did see that. I saw that people were claiming that she posed for the camera. I don't know. They were flashing on Johnny Depp as well. She did hold the Kleenex on her nose. Johnny Depp looks to be having a little bit of allergies. He needs a little Claritin. And she kind of held a Kleenex and you could hear the cameras, but the cameras are always taking pictures. So I don't know. I don't know what I believe with that. Yes, you like the judge. May 16th is a long time coming. Thank you, June, so much for the super sticker and love for Penny and her perm, because my goodness, Penny, Penny's she's going through it too, you guys, because we got these two sides going at it, and we got objections galore, and we got, did you add that into evidence? Well, you should already know that's in evidence, because if you watch Emily D. Baker, she will tell you they should know that this is this. I love Emily D. Baker because she just explains it all, and I was like, oh yeah, and then I think I know something. Like, they should know what is wrong with these people. They should really know. Okay. She kept wiping away nothing. People are saying it just was not a good time at all. But we do have this little team and heading into next week, and we'll see. I'm so interested for the Camille Cross. I'm so interested to see what happens between these two, because obviously we have picked up on some vibes. These two are vibing. I understand Camille might be married. Okay, whatever. But for our courtroom crushes, I do think there was also something that I missed was the two of them. And I think this was even earlier in the weeks, and they kind of reached for each other. And, you know, they've had many moments where they've had their arms around each other, you know, and she's comforted him. And then we have, how did I miss this? How did I miss this? You're like, hey, see you later. No, not if I see you first, you know? And then he grabs, they both were like, this moment. So some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. That's how I feel. All right. Yes. East Coast. Yeah, I don't think Johnny's used to those East Coast allergies. They will take you out. He's definitely having some. I think the Kate Moss thing, I think that made Ben Chewy very excited. And I think that opens the door to talk about past relationships and to possibly bring Kate Moss in. So, and debunk that, because they just want to prove that she's a liar. Johnny Depp's side is like, we need to prove she's a liar and that she lies about everything. And so she lied about this, and so that this is defamation. I don't know, you know, what's going to happen, how this trial, we still have a few weeks and we have a week off, but I don't know if she's going to win. I don't know if he's going to win. But I do think in the court of public opinion, she's not winning. Okay, so we have to talk about this real quick. All right, so Kate, I keep want to call her Kate Moss, but Kate James, who is her ex-assistant, the wonderful Australian lady who was one of my favorites on the stand, and she was like, she didn't even pay me. She just gave me like $25 an hour. It's doing her a favor. She's at the Chateau Marmont with her friends, just kissing ass and drinking on a Sunday, and to bring my son there. I don't even think she picked up my top. No, she's a cheap ass. I don't like her. No, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. I don't like her. She just makes a big deal out of everything. That's my shitty Australian accent, but I just love her. I love her. Okay. So we have the allegations that possibly Amber Heard might have lifted her essay story and used it for her own, which is horrific if that in fact happened. But Amber Heard on the stand was asked about Kate and their relationship, and she was like, well, she just wasn't professional. She like drank on the job, and she just would, you know, I'd be like, hey, you left your car door open and your kids out there in the car. And can you imagine how pissed Aussie Kate's like, what the fuck? You know, she's like, Foster's Australian for beer. That's it, that bitch, you know, because she already hates Amber Heard. And now Amber Heard's out here, they're disparaging her character, saying she didn't like having her as an assistant because she drank while she was at work. She left her car doors open and she left her kid in her car. I mean, I wish we could bring Kate back on the stand. Okay? Because that is what I want to hear from. I want to hear Kate be like, what the fuck? You know, just like, I just want to hear her like, she didn't even pay me what I'm worth. You know, she's saying I was drinking. I wasn't drinking. I was picking up after her. She was throwing stuff around in the apartment on Orange and just being a big baby. She's a bitch. Don't like her. She's a bitch. Shouldn't even. She goes to Australia. She brings the little dogs, the little teacup dogs. She's got one. She got two. She got two dogs. She brought them in on there. And I said, what are you doing? You can't go into Australia like that. You can bring in some kind of weird dog disease. It's not what my country needs. She called it an island, technically. I guess that's right. But it's kind of rude. Okay. So she just comes in. She brings little teacups, you know, and she knows that shit is hers. It's not the dogs. Okay. Because little dogs, they would break their bunghole if they poop like that. She definitely did that. She brought the dogs in. She breaks rules. It's what she does. She thinks the word's made for her. It's not. You know, now she's going to tell me I drink too much. She drinks, she's got an IV of red wine. Okay. So how about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? You know, I want to hear from Kate. I want to hear from Kate. I know I can't help it, Billy. I'm just not good at it. But I love it. I love it. It's just that Minnesota accent comes out, which has a little bit of Irish to it. And then my Australian together, like, oh, I don't like her. She's a bitch. It's just, I'm Team Johnny for sure. Because I work for her and she paid me dick. I was like, I deserve more. And she was like, no, 25. I had to negotiate for $50,000 a year. I'm worth more. I've worked. This is the smallest celebrity I've ever worked for. She's like a little baby celebrity. I work for big guys. You hear of James Cameron? Yeah. I worked with his son, who's still more famous than her. Actually, it was his son's friend. Yeah. Still more famous than her. She's nobody. Telling me I'm drunk, leaving my kid in the car. Maybe I could get a better car if she paid me more money. But she didn't. Stupid bitch. So she did call it an island. It's kind of weird. She was like, I'm going to bring my dogs over here. Even when you cross over from Arizona to California, they ask if you got fruit in your car. But you go all the way to Australia, bring dogs, and you don't claim them? What do you think you're doing? Coming in trying to ruin our country, you bitch. So the dingo ate my baby. Okay? Let me tell you. Amber Heard paid dick. She paid me dick. And she ate my baby. There was one time me and Amber Heard, we were at her little apartment. She lived in a duplex on Orange. Yeah. And then I brought my kid in and she was like, oh, on the MDMA. Apparently MDMA makes you horny and hungry. Well, my kid's there. She thought he was an ice cream sandwich. She started taking bites out of him. And I was like, that's a kid. Don't eat the kid. And Amber was like, I love it. I was like, stop it. Get together. And I left. Yeah. And I hate her. And no one should ask me any more questions. And I don't want to be here. So I wish, like, when I heard her disparage my favorite character, I was pissed. I was pissed. She ate her baby. Yeah, allegedly, Amber Heard tried to eat Kate James' baby. Okay. That is what we're alleging. But yeah, she was just like, yeah, Kate, she has an alcohol problem. And she left her kid in the car. I wonder if I have the audio recording of that, because I was like, oh no, we're not doing that to Australian Kate after everything she gave us in this trial. We're going to disparage her. Hell to the nah. We can't let that happen. Okay, let's see if this is it.
I spent the rest of the time looking out the window. The objection.
Okay, no, that's the objections. Let's see if this is it. I thought I had it.
I don't hesitate. I don't wait. I just, in my head, instantly.
Nope, that's Kate Moss. I have so many clips of this trial on my phone. It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous speech. It's acting like a biche.
Looked like it said that at all, and I laughed. It's that simple.
Oh, they talked about the Winona Ryder tattoo, Wino Forever. Here's my theory about this. There's no way that Amber Heard did not know about Winona Ryder and Johnny Depp. There's just no way. If you are a young woman in Hollywood and you are aspiring to be an actress to the point where you move out there at 17 to see an agent, you're not that much. Well, I mean, she's not that much younger than me. She's 36. I'm 42. I know all about that shit. Even my husband's 38. He knows about that. So there's no way she didn't know about that. And the Wino Forever. There is no way. Maybe if you're still in your 20s, if you're some kind of Gen Z baby, maybe, but an older millennial wouldn't know about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and you want to be in the business? No. That I don't agree with. That and that tattoo is iconic. And it's iconic that he had to change it to Wino Forever. So, yes, I saw that, Mia. So I was watching their interview they did when they snuck their dogs into Australia. And they were saying she could have faced like 4 years. I think this interview said it could have been like 10. Maybe I'm just imagining that, but that was crazy. That was crazy. She was giving you Regina George. Kate, no, this is a Kate and Camille Stan channel, okay? Oh my gosh. I would be interested. I guess, now that Kate Moss is brought up, she can be called. It would have been interesting to hear from like Winona Ryder, I guess as like a character witness. That would have been very interesting. Just the, again, the 90s kid in me would love to see that. But there's just no way that Amber Heard, there's some things that just don't make sense. There's no way you did not know about that or the Wino Forever tattoo. It's also not convincing that you're claiming, like she even threw her sister under the bus and was like, yeah, my sister used to do coke with Johnny, not me. I would never do coke, just MDMA, red wine, weed, a little mescaline, maybe peyote on a Thursday, but never coke. But my sister did. I'm like, oh my gosh, poor sister. That's on a national stage now that people know that you do cocaine. I mean, I don't know what her sister does for a living, but I tend to think that most people who do cocaine don't want people to know they're doing cocaine. And then we have this whole issue with if we have Amber Heard in these situations and Johnny Depp where they're taking a lot of substances. And then we have talk throughout the trial of Adderall. And so then when I hear, from Dr. Keeper, whatever that dude's name is, that he's not, or that she's not sleeping, I'm thinking, that's the Adderall. And Adderall can make you cracked out. That can make you crazy if you don't need it, if it just doesn't agree with you, or if you are taking it not for the right reasons, I guess. So that can be worrisome. Let's see. Who else do we have here? They agreed not to bring in exes. To make us have to go through watching all of this and we don't even get to see that. Ariana says her crying is not convincing. I'm the type who cries very easily when someone cries and she didn't touch my soul at all. I think a lot of people feel that way. The descriptions of things were awful. But I don't think I was moved by her emotions. I think I was just like, if this dude did all this is a lot. Shrooms, but one. Yeah, I did shrooms, but just like one. I feel like she's trying to sell us a bill of goods about the drug stuff where it's like, but I just only when I'm in the desert around strange people in a rich person's trailer, which Johnny destroyed. It's like, and then Johnny destroyed this, and then Johnny destroyed that, and then we did shrooms. And then Johnny destroyed this and Johnny destroyed that. Then we did MDMA. And then when they even questioned whether, well, didn't you do MDMA with him then? I would never do shrooms with, but you have done shrooms. Which, yeah, before I realized. I mean, half of these incidents were at times before they're even married. So if you knew all these issues he had, you still did MDMA with him on the wedding, or you still did MDMA. I don't even know if he did MDMA on the wedding. I think it might have just been her and her friends with the cuddle puddle. But she's like, I would never do MDMA with him. Like, but yeah, you did though. There was a lot of direct staring at the jury. Yes. I did. The beginning of like I said, the beginning, I was like, okay. When we saw this, Amber, I was like, okay. She got on the stand. Let's see if I can get, obviously not that one, but I was getting some screenshots early on. And she was, explaining her childhood and stuff. But I did get that. I don't know a lot of, but it could be true. I don't know a lot of 22-year-olds that are into obscure poetry that a late 40 something guy would be into, like what she said she met with Johnny Depp, and blues. And I don't know. I don't know. And then she's saying he pursued her. And then he's saying, no, she pursued me. And you're like, what's the truth? And then to go on and be like, also, yeah, when I was growing up, I volunteered at the soup kitchen every day, not on the weekends, because I was volunteering with blind dogs, leading them to trees so they could urinate, but or fire hydrants, but not when the fire was there, because I made sure to then volunteer with the firefighters as well when I wasn't with the blind dogs or the deaf kids or the soup kitchen, I was putting out fires in my neighborhood, both emotionally and physical fires. It just seemed very, like some of this stuff, I'm like, okay, what is that? That doesn't help me in it, that you went to the soup kitchen. I don't know a lot of every morning I went to the soup kitchen. Every morning. Yeah. I did. Yeah. I am a really good person. It's like, what? It's a lot. It's a lot with, you know, then me and Johnny had so much in common. And I'm like, what in the world would you have in common at 22? And I know I said earlier, you know, maybe talking about their backgrounds and abuse and wanting out and starting Hollywood early. But as far as music and poetry and stuff, I don't know. Maybe she was above her, you know, ahead of her age, time. So we'll see. I mean, it is just some of the stuff. I mean, you have to find some humor in it because you go crazy watching all of this. And, you know, some people say that she studied what he liked, who he was before going into that meeting. Listen, before I go to a job interview, or if someone calls me in for something, or the 7 years I spent living in LA and going to auditions or meeting with agents, I looked up everything I could about the person I was going to meet with so that I knew about them. So we have something to talk about. And even with regular jobs, I would do that. Not Hollywood things. I would just look up regular stuff about the business so I could feign interest. Like, well, hello. I'm trying to think of, you know, Albertsons, I would like to be a cashier here. Also, I saw that you guys are on Forbes list for top grocers, which I'm very interested. I stay on top of the top grocer lists because I think it's very important. You provide such a service. You know, I mean, you carry my favorite brand of this. You just have to find a way to connect. So it wouldn't surprise me if she did research about Johnny Depp beforehand. I mean, you're going to go meet with Johnny Depp. You really want to get this movie. You know, you're probably going to look. If Johnny Depp asked to meet with me, if anybody, and I wanted to be, you know, in some kind of creative thing with them, I would definitely look up everything I need to know about that person. I did see that. So this was a very interesting, There were two videos. There was one where she had gotten off the stand and walked just past Johnny. And at the end of the day, after reliving or retelling or telling all these horrific things, she got off the stand and she looked super, super scared. And looked as though, like, she backed up and she walked into the court TV camera when Johnny was leaving for the day. And she was coming off and she was like, and people on court TV who are in the room, the reporter that's there, who sometimes is sitting by her PR person, which that's interesting, said that she was visibly shaking. So I don't know. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. 8 more likes to get to 500. You guys are amazing. We were 1,000+ strong. Now we're 929 strong. Hit that like. It helps so much in this crazy algorithm of life. And Johnny was like, oh, well, like, okay. I wonder if I have the video. I think I have the video here of that. Because I'm like, oh, Lordy, this is, wow. Where can my video be? Let's see. That one is not it. That is Ben Chu going like this, which is, okay, here we go. Let me stop the share and then reshare this. So this is her getting off the stand after telling on the second day after all of that stuff. And now she had already gotten off for a break before, either lunch or their morning break. And she walked past and you know, him, and it was fine. But then later on, it wasn't so fine anymore. And this happened. So you can see she walks into that court TV and he's like, oh, okay, we're doing that. Okay. And then they leave. So I mean, let's see. She's getting off. She's like, hey, okay, I'm done. I got my Dasani, which is horrible water. And I think she must use some Crystal Light. She looks over and you can see, she probably can see Johnny somewhere, you know, coming. And then, nope, now she sees him. And she's like, and he's like, hey, what's up? One of my security guys, whatever your name is, even though he knows his name, I don't. And then she backs up and she walks into the camera. And you hear a thud. The security lady or the bailiff, the sheriff or police officer in the courtroom, the blonde woman, she looks back like, what the hell is that? And then he's like, okay, what? I guess I don't know. And he goes, I don't know. I guess she's upset. I don't know. And then she just stands there and looks. And by this time, the jury's gone. So there's no play up for a jury because the jury leaves first. So, and then the police officer, the blonde police officer woman says, all right, takes her. Johnny turns around, then sees her walk away, and then he leaves. So it is there's a lot of different emotions we saw in the past couple days. There's fear, and then sometimes there's no fear. Sometimes there's direct eye contact. Sometimes there's not. It's a roller coaster. It's definitely a roller coaster. Over themselves. The media is falling over. I don't know. Are they? Because I only watch YouTubers about this stuff because I feel like, or I watch the YouTube lawyers. I feel like that's where you're getting the most truth, if you will, because you're actually seeing people who do this for a living and have, I mean, no vested interest other than, you know, super chats and shit, but no vested interest, particularly in this case. They don't represent either of the parties and they can kind of give us the behind the scenes, which is why I really like watching Emily D. Baker and Legal Bites. There's a couple other guys. I found another guy today that I kind of liked. And I think his channel was, you guys probably already know him already, but he's like legal, know me legal or something. And he was pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty much the same as you, Graphics. I'm only following the legal commentary here and there. I guess I'll pick up some ABC News, some court TV at times. I have done that. So yeah, but as far as anything else, I'm not really. I have actually watched The Popcorn. The Popcorn Man is where I saw the video with Kipper Keeper and the nurse, the audio of that. I also watched the Ozzy reaction guy. So yeah, it's pretty much, Emily is spot on. She's the best. She's amazing. She's awesome. Not Legal Eagle. I don't know who Legal Eagle is, but I'll check that out. But I really haven't found a stinker of a law channel yet that's covering this. They're all very good. And they're all just like killing it. Their subs are just through the roof for this because, I mean, I never even thought to follow. I mean, I'd been following Emily D. Baker for a while, but that's just because she's friends with bloggers that I'm friends with. But, and I just liked her. But it is great to actually watch people who know this judicial process and people who have, you know, been prosecutors before and know the law and know the Constitution and are, you know, specialize in that or specialize in defamation things. Yes, that's the channel. Lawyer You Know channel. I just found him today. I think he's is he in Florida or something? He's got like long hockey hair. And I was like, I'm on board with the long hockey hair, but man, all right, brother man. Cried my eyes out at the popcorn reviews. He killed. I don't even know nothing about this popcorn guy. I just watched a couple of videos, but he's killing it. I don't know anything about anything else he covers. What? Oh my God. Oh no. Have I watched? Is that the guy that does 90-day reactions too? Because I've watched him. Stinker. I get it. Oh my God. That's what people were saying on the lawyer the Lawyer You Know's channel, and you could tell I don't think he knew about Jodi Aries because he was calling her Jodi Aries, but I think it's Aries. And when she did her crime, I think I was living in Arizona at the time, so that was a big case. And a lot of people in the chat were agreeing with you, Ariana, saying that is, they were getting vibes like that. Yeah, I watch a little bit of court TV just to see what they're saying, but I haven't watched a ton. Like I said, it's mostly these lawyers I'm watching. Okay. But the Psychology in Seattle, yeah. I think he covers some reality shows too. If it's like, he's like a brunette, very kind of gentle man. I'm sure he's a gentleman, but he's also a gentle man. He strikes me as being very gentle. Incredibly average. Oh, thank you guys for letting me know all the channels. The Umbrella Guy, he has so much detail. Yes, I've stumbled upon that channel as well. That's a huge channel. I didn't know he was a mental health practitioner. I think he was on maybe the Popcorn Guy's channel, and that's how I heard about him. But yeah. All right. Thank you guys for that. Okay, so he is the guy that does 90 Day. So that makes sense. Yep. Yeah, Aries, that is a real stinker of a trial. No. What is this, Kevin Costner? You DM'd me? Okay, Tammy, let me take a look here. Kevin Costner's coming out? Oh, man. Let me take a look. While we're taking a look, you guys feel free to smash that like and follow me on the social media. Helps me so much. Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok, where I put out more comedy stuff about these kind of things and just comedy in general. Tammy sent a photo. Kevin Costner calls out Amber Heard. Is this a clickbait title or did it really happen? Now I'm going to have to Google it because I see your screen grab. Thank you for that. Kevin Costner calls out Amber Heard. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's see. What do we got? We got lots of YouTubers talking about it. I don't want to play their videos. I don't want them to strike me. I wish there was like let's see. An hour ago, according to sportskita.com, the pop culture thing. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me share this with you guys and we'll read it together and see. Now, it isn't the WAPO. It isn't the New York Times. But I mean, you gotta have all forms of alternative media because you never know. All right, let's see. Let's share this and just, again, everything's alleged. We don't know anything. I'm a big dummy. Alleged Kevin Costner, Amber Heard, quote, explored amid Johnny Depp defamation trial. Oh my God. She doesn't even look like the same person. And I think that is because also on, both of their looks are very strategic. And hers is, she's definitely not wearing mascara, things like that, kind of playing down. I would assume like playing down kind of that Hollywood glam or any kind of beauty aspect. All right. Kevin Costner's alleged past comments about Amber Heard resurfaced online amid the latter's ongoing defamation trial with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Heard was cast opposite Costner in the 2014 action film 3 Days to Kill. Never heard of it. Earlier reports claim that during the project's wrap-up party, Heard name-dropped her then-boyfriend Depp and shared words of appreciation for the actor. So according to Moderately Annoyed at Bigley Disaster 45 on Twitter, Kevin Costner tried to warn us about Amber Heard. When you broke up with him for a day or two, though it didn't take you long to find your way into my trailer naked, though, did it? What? In the what? In the what? The worst person of the day award goes to this B-list, mostly movie actress, who is all about being famous, no matter how. Oh, who she has to sleep with? Oh my God. Who is saying this? Right now, she kind of hit the jackpot with that. It's not shy. All right. And it's not shy about dropping his name when things don't go her way. Last night, she was at the after party for her latest movie and was talking to her co-star, who used to be a really big shot and is having a comeback year. That would be Costner, I assume. At one point, our actress was talking about her boyfriend, and the actor said, when you broke up, and the actor said, when you broke up with him for a day or two, though, it didn't take you long to find your way into my trailer naked, though, did it? Right in front of 10 people, he said this. The actor in question is married. However, Costner immediately called out Heard and said that she allegedly attempted to flirt with him while she had a brief breakup with Depp. Kevin Costner reportedly made the statement publicly in front of other people, but it's not known if Amber Heard ever responded back. Kevin Costner and Amber Heard appeared together in the 2014 action thriller nobody saw, 3 Days to Kill, directed by Joseph McGinty, Nickel, and written by Luke Besson and Addie Hasek. Costner plays protagonist CIA agent Ethan Renner in the film, who decides to quit his job after being diagnosed with a terminal illness. Okay, Walter White. He is then offered a life-saving drug in exchange for completing one last mission before retirement. Renner is tasked with capturing arms trafficker leader Wolf before working on his plan to focus on developing his relationship with his estranged wife and daughter. This sounds Liam Neeson-y. His final assignment is to capture a dangerous arms trafficker boss called Wolf, after which he can focus on building a closer relationship with his estranged wife and daughter. Meanwhile, Heard plays the role of an elite assassin in the movie who has been hired to kill Wolf and help Ethan in his mission. While promoting the film, Heard spoke about her character's relationship with that of Costner's character and said, our relationship is an interesting one, and it's the power struggle of these two strong characters constantly going against each other. What's interesting is that he's very accomplished and he's very good at his job. He's tried and true. She further mentioned he's a veteran of the trade that they're in, and she's a whole other school. It's a new school. It's very completely opposite in some ways. What? Amber Heard and Kevin Costner made news after rumors of the latter calling out the actress during the film's wrap party came to light. However, none of the actors have denied or addressed the issue directly. The remark recently resurfaced once again. So it's, it is just a rumor that Kevin Costner has not confirmed. So kind of boring. Because I feel like some of these, blogs, they can just say someone said anything or that they heard someone say anything. Believe me, I know. And yeah. Until he comes out and says, she pooped in my bed, I'm not believing anything until Costner says something. Because Costner doesn't have anything to lose other than he probably doesn't want to be. I'm sure nobody really wants to be dragged into this messy ass case because this is so messy. No, he hasn't confirmed it. That's what it says. And I don't see any, in my little search here, I don't see any indication that he has confirmed anything other than this being hearsay, if you will. Okay. Objection, hearsay, overruled. Wait, it's sustained. Okay. Yeah, there's something else here on another site, hitc.com, but I don't see them saying that they've not confirmed nor denied. So it's just rumors. But he had told other actresses. Which actress, Monica? Which actress? Because it doesn't say in here. Which actress? Was it Dakota? I was going to say Dakota Fanning, but Dakota, what's her name? Shoot. It's the girl that's in those. Dakota Johnson. Oh my gosh. When you see the Dakota Johnson faces she makes at Amber Heard, these are hilarious. I mean, I don't know if they're frenemies. I don't know their relationship, but this picture has been being shared like crazy. This Getty image. All right, let's try to open this. Open a new tab. Shout out to Getty for giving us this one. All right. And she is side-eyeing Amber Heard, and Amber Heard is with Johnny Depp, and this has been shared like crazy throughout this. And people are giving a lot of credit to Dakota Johnson, saying Dakota Johnson knew. She knew all along. And I don't know if what she knew, and I don't think she said anything. But there's also, yes, Tanya, there's video, a certain YouTube channel. I forgot what channel it was, but they were kind of breaking down. They were doing press for a movie they did together, Dakota and Johnny Depp. And she was looking at his hand, and she appeared to be very worried. You know, she read all over her face that she was like, oh. So, I don't know. Hilarious coincidence. She also showed up. Well, I don't know. I mean, we're getting the thing with being on set and wearing a robe, that's actually not uncommon. But it was interesting as a woman hearing, and I heard Legal Bites talk about this as well, hearing her explain. It sounded like she was starting to explain a Me Too type thing while on the set of Rum Diaries with Johnny Depp, because she said, I had to wear this like old timey lingerie, and Johnny and I had this, connection, but he was in a relationship and I was in a relationship, and we would never cross those boundaries because people in Hollywood never do that. We're so loyal and faithful. Anyways, then he jokingly like lifted up the back of my robe with his foot. And then he might have pushed me on a bed in a trailer and said, yum, and lifted his eyebrow. And I'm like, that's creepy. That's really creepy. That would not give me a boner for him. That's really creepy if that's how it started. That's super creepy. That sounds like some Harvey Weinstein shit. That's real creepy. So that was like, that gave me cause for pause. Like, what? Who wants that to happen at work? I don't know. It just seemed a little weird, I don't know. Yes, hit the like button. Is my mom here? My mom's in the chat. What's up, Nana? What's up? Objection. Nana's here. Compound question for that. Yes, Dare didn't. Nope and nope. Once she said that. Yes, the Dakota Johnson, when she called out Ellen, when Ellen was like, I didn't get an invite to your holiday party. She's like, you did. I didn't. She's like, but you did. But I didn't. You really did. That is a very good video to watch. So, and shoved her, the couch or the bed and said, yum. Ugh, gross. Ugh. I just think their dialogue with each other, despite all of that, is kind of weird anyways, like, hey, kid. And then here's a knife, kid. Till death. It's like, oh. She gives him a knife, and then he refers to her as kid, and he gets along. That's also, relationships. If someone is that good of friends with your dad, and if your relationship 101, not that I know anything, but if your significant other is doing drugs with your dad, don't get married. No, that is not love. What is love? It's not your significant other doing drugs with your druggy dad. Because if your dad has a drug problem and then he's doing, no. Because they were so close in age. Probably. They had more in common. But no, if that's what was happening. And then coke with the sister. I mean, the whole family's just doing drugs together, allegedly. Oh, no. Nana, I liked, and I like Nana. Thanks, lovely symbols. Thank you. Or doing drugs at all, Danny. Good point. Don't dateemgirl.com. Is that still a website? Let's see if it is. People used to be able to add people to that. Don't dateemgirl.com. I don't even know if that's still a website. Date him girl website. You could that's still a website. Yep. Where you can submit people not to date. Don't dateemgirl.com. Okay. But he had an island. Yeah, even if he has an island, don't let him do drugs with your dad and your sister. Thank you. Yep, drug dad day, DDD. That is a red flag, a DDD. I want my husband and my dad get along, and they're friendly, and they make shit together. My dad taught him how to cut wood. What did they make? Oh, they made a guitar case for my husband because he plays the guitar, you know? But if he was like, hey, me and your dad are going to go make a guitar case and do some cocaine, I'd be like, oh no, we're not doing that. Okay. First of all, you're too old, and he's definitely too old, and he's pre-diabetic. Okay. Tell him to check his blood sugar and take a nap. This is not happening. No. There's lots more hell nah in her version of, yeah. Yeah, and it's, which, you know, father-daughter relationships can be complicated if her dad is an addict and was abusive, for sure. But, yeah, he's terrible, but he's also awesome. Nana's a celebrity. Well, I'm saying all those penthouses now gone, sold, you know, I mean, these people got to live rent-free for years in downtown LA in penthouses. I mean, shit, that is quite the deal. I did find pictures of the penthouse online, and I've showed them a few times, but I like to look at them because it's fascinating. It's fascinating, this penthouse deal, and the colors and how he decorated his house. And that's what we learned from Kate James, is that, you know, she kind of picked up that bohemian style, according to Kate James, from Johnny Depp. So very interesting, but, you know, he had an interesting color taste. But I feel like if you're doing mescaline and peyote, this looks good to you. You know, but that's a nice kitchen. It's just not the greatest color. You know, and I'm sure he's like supporting these artists, just like his one friend who was from Florida. I missed that guy already. And he was like, yeah, Johnny, just let me stay at the place. And I was like, I'm going to paint some paintings. How long will that take? A couple weeks. Turns out, hey, it takes a long time to make big canvas paintings. So, yeah. So Johnny just gave me $5,000, you know, every month or so. And I just stepped painting. I said, how long, you know, Johnny, this might take a long time. Johnny said, take as long as you want, which is, you know, real nice guy. Real nice deal right there. So, I mean, they all got to live in these penthouses, just penting it up. You know, in the Eastern Building, which is the Art Deco building. It's a well-known building in downtown LA with this Art Deco style, which is very Johnny Depp. And that's the question I had about the phone last time, is when she allegedly threw a phone off the balcony or outside, and then Starling Jenkins found it on Skid Row and gave a guy 17 tacos and some Aquafinas. I think some Fijis, waters for it, and $420, so he could buy some, you know, weed or whatever for $420. Wouldn't the phone be destroyed? I mean, that's a hell of an otter case. We talked about that last time. The fact that if you throw it from one of the balconies at this building, that phone's probably not going to survive. And then we have, I mean, there's just so many interesting aspects to this. Did you guys know this dude was engaged to Lady Gaga at one time? That agent dude? I had no idea. I saw people posting about that. Christian agent Lady Gaga. I forget his last name. Christian Carino, Lady Gaga's ex-fiance. I mean, I had no idea. And I wonder, well, now I want to know what Lady Gaga knows. And now we need to not sequester. What is the word I'm looking for? We need to talk to Lady Gaga. We need to talk, because, okay, when was she? Let's look at a timeline, because I would be subpoenaing. That's the word I'm looking for. Objection. You don't know what you're talking about, Joleen. Overruled. It's my channel. Okay. But I would be like, we need to talk to Gaga. We need to know what she knows. So let's take a look at this article and see. This dude, I mean, man, being a rep at CAA and you get Lady Gaga, it's pretty Pretty lucky of him. Okay. So Christian Carino, former fiance, well, when this was written in 2019, Lady Gaga and the talent agent Christian Carino have called it quits after nearly 2 years together. So that means they were together, if this is 2019, since 2017. When did the San Francisco trip happen? What was the date? One of you little beautiful law nerds from Emily D. Baker's or Legal Bites, put it in the chat. When was the San Francisco trip where he took Amber there to reunite with Johnny and break the TRO? You know, sequester Gaga. I know. Subpoena Gaga. You know, Amber Heard for Celebrity Big Brother Season 4. Yes, that might be. It depending on what happens with this case. That might be in her future. So they called it quits. They dated for 2 years. And this was written in 2019. Okay. That's what I'm saying, Jan. Why aren't they sequestered? Maybe because it's civil and they don't sequester civil trials, only criminal, I'm thinking. I don't know. But I just find it hard to believe they're not going to look online, you know. Oh, it's all making sense. And then Johnny Depp allegedly threw meat around in Australia, to which Lady Gaga said, you never. That's where she got the idea for the meat dress, because he wrapped it. He's an innovator. He wrapped it allegedly in Amber Heard's nightie that was given to her by Kipper. It's all one big Illuminati conspiracy theory. The devil made them do it, you know? So then she hears about that from Christian, like, oh my God, Johnny Depp wrapped some meat in a dress. And she's like, did you say meat dress? Thus, or did Johnny Depp steal that from Lady Gaga? Because she did that before. But it's still one big Illuminati mess. Wow. Yay, I'm glad I can make you laugh. Let's see what we don't know about this dude, because I was shocked that was one of the shocking things for me, is that San Francisco trip, and that she had talked, you know, Christian into getting involved to meet up with Johnny to go against the TRO or the RO, temporary restraining order or restraining order, whatever it was, and talk to him. And then they had a fight, and then they were up at someone's house, then they went to a hotel, and then she tried to sleep in the same bed as him or hug him, and he was like, no. And that was even more drama. So I don't know. They can be sequestered for civil, but it has to be agreed upon and both parties pay to put them up for it. Okay. All right. All right, so let's see. What does he do? Was he with Calvin Klein here? So he's with CAA, and they rep Gaga, or this is when he was. Oh, that's Tommy Hilfiger. Okay, so he's got Tommy Hilfiger. So he's Gaga's talent agent. Okay. Or was. He previously dated a Walking Dead star. Oh, I love her. God, this guy gets all the cuties. Lauren Cohen. All right. Maggie from Walking Dead. Get it. And Tommy Hilfiger again. What is Tommy Hilfiger, his dad or something? What is happening? He and Gaga started dating in 2017. Nice, nice, nice. I wonder if she's friends with Amber Heard. Gaga and Carino were first spotted together in 2017 when Gaga was preparing for her Super Bowl performance. They were seen kissing and taking selfies on the football field. The previous day, he was also seen with her at the Tommy Gigi Spring 2017 show in Venice, so LA. They were rumored to be engaged. They were Instagram official later that year. Wow. All right. So far, so boring. Lady Gaga confirms engagement. He gave her a ring fit for royalty. That is a big ring. The gem is reminiscent of the engagement ring Princess Diana received from Prince Charles, which instead features a deep blue sapphire and later became Kate Middleton's engagement ring from Prince William. Well, how nice. I wonder if she gave it back. I wouldn't. All right. Well, that wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be, but it was interesting that they dated because I had no idea. Oh my gosh. Legally, Leo, we got to get you up here on panel with me, and you can give us your thoughts from a legal perspective if you want to. You don't have to, but you're an integral part of the Leen team. So Lelia says there is a 0.000000001% chance of a civil jury being sequestered. I think, yeah, that'd be a big ask for a civil trial. Johnny wanted to cook steak a la robe. Whoa, that's a good question, Patty. Why is the jury mostly men? If that's true, who wanted more men? Amber Heard's team. I mean, I believe they get to interview the jury and figure it out, but it probably has a lot to do with, now that I'm watching her testimony, I'm thinking there's a better chance of men believing it, because I think the men are like late 20s, mid 30s, the average age of the men. You know, there's probably, objection, speculation, but there's probably hope that they kind of like her. Obviously, you want the jury to like you, and that maybe, that's one of the selling factors. Also, maybe fear that women wouldn't believe her story, find her likable, would take in with them their own experiences with DV, SA, and then compare it to hers. And then that could be problematic if they didn't feel as though she was going to be a strong witness on the stand to deliver this. That could be. Yes, we got a subpoena legally, Leah. So yeah, I think it is very strategic. I think there's probably a better chance of men, or they could have also thought, men are more likely to maybe feel, or the type of men that they sought out were maybe more likely to feel protective over Amber. But then Johnny's team could feel, well, maybe if we get men, they'll either be fans of Johnny Depp, they'll fall in line with some kind of guy code. I don't know, I'm just like speculating here. Or they will fear that this person, if she's doing this to him, well then, if they believe that, then she could do it to us. They could maybe feel for him. Maybe they've been in a similar situation or something. So I'm not sure. Chewy fought that motion for dismissal. They knew Amber's testimony was coming. I mean, I'm sure she wanted out of it. I would. We were just talking about this, Beth. Yes, we were talking about the nose stuff. I mean, I said I've had deviated septum surgery at 20. I had a nose job at 26. Both were the most painful. Next to, I had an appendix rupture, but I was a kid then. But you would know. When someone does shit to your nose, you know. And if your nose is broken, oh, you know. I mean, black eyes, swollen. I mean, it's not good. 6 weeks of each other. Wow, the septioplasty was the most painful. Yeah, any kind of septum thing, it's horrible. Very horrible. So that, I think there's just a lot of, I don't know. Just, we hear that a lot in her testimony. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe he said this, maybe he said, I don't know. I don't remember how it felt. I just remember that I was mad or I was sad. I remember the carpet, but I don't remember if it hurt. It's just a lot. Someone said, check my Twitter. You sent me the Australia video. Thank you guys so much for sending me stuff. I don't see any message. Allow message requests from, I don't think I allow message requests from people. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't see it. I'm so sorry, John. I don't see it. If you could resend it, that would be rad. Because I don't see it in my messages, but thank you for that. How much longer is the trial going to be? You have a week off, and I think we have 2 or 3 more weeks because it's a 6-week trial. Right? I'm pretty sure. So next week, Judge Penny has an appointment she can't miss. Okay? She's got a boomer convention, AARP. She's got a perm. She's scheduled in a tight perm. And she's like, I already scheduled this. So I'm not, and you know, with perms, we learned from Legally Blonde, you can't get it wet. You can't have any fun. You can't smile too much, and you can't, you know, and it stinks. So she needs time to let her perm. Let's see. Yeah, if you, nose, I hate nose stuff. That's why when COVID happened, the way to test it, I was like, no, I hated getting a flu test. They stick stuff up there. Now I hate it. I'm a big baby. I don't care about shots. I don't care about giving blood. I don't care about any of that stuff. Give me a pap smear all day. But if you have to stick that thing up my nose, I'm like, no, I don't like it. Who do I think is going to win this case right now? I mean, if from just my like personal feelings, having not seen the cross and all, you know, cross-examination and stuff, I would think Johnny Depp. But here's the thing. I'm not super well versed on all the ways you have to, just watching the legal channels, I feel like they're teaching us this, but all the ways in which they have to prove defamation. At this time, do I feel as though there's some dishonesty going on? Yes. Do I think he was the first person to initiate violence? No. And I hate that. Like I said, I just don't, from what I've seen so far. But again, I don't know if they're going to hit all the criteria for what proves defamation, because it is very hard. Those you know, cases are very difficult. Obviously, you know, he lost the libel case against the Sun. He lost previously in the UK, but this is different. He's in the US now, and he's dealing with it being publicized and played on television for everyone to see. I think no matter what, there will be a huge amount of support for Johnny Depp and what it appears he went through. But I don't know if he'll win by the rules of the law. And then I was learning all these things today from the legal channels, in that they can, you know, he could technically be like, hey, I don't want to, if you know, you can pay me $1, but you have to publicly apologize, or you can do this, that, or the other thing. She's probably not going to do that if she does lose, but there's lots of different ways. Thank you so much, Elaine, for the generous super sticker. I appreciate you so much. And thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it was low-level violence. I've never heard that saying in my life. Toxic people, both, exactly. Such a toxic couple. But the point of this trial is to find out who was the main aggressor. Who started this? Who actually was the person that attacked? Okay, let me see what you're sending me here, Jen. Okay, thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you so much for sending that to me. The incredibly average.
In this new reality of
Okay, I don't want to take his, I don't want him to copyright strike me, but I'll definitely watch that. Thank you so much. Yeah, she's not gonna, no. I don't think she's gonna win on her case. I don't. I know, we talked about that sometime, Alias. She took those little dogs that allegedly shit in her bed, according to her, to Australia, and she did not tell them. She took them over there illegally. Okay. And it has to be, Linda, good point. It has to be unanimous, which might be hard. Oh, I got 2 stickers before I started. I didn't notice that. I'm so sorry, you guys. Thank you so much. They don't even show me. I want to know how, like, Emily D. Baker and them are great at pulling up their super stickers and super chats at the end, but I feel like mine disappear in StreamYard. So they must have a separate window where they'd look at it just in YouTube, because that's so smart to do. She admitted she wrote the op-ed immediately. Isn't this what it's all about? Everyone is confused about what this trial is about. I mean, it's supposed to be about, did this op-ed she write indicate falsely that Johnny Depp abused her, and did that cost him work and take a hit? You know, did his career and public image and all that take a hit through defamation? I think that's what it's about. But we have to get through all of this other bullshit and toxic mess to figure out, you know, who's lying and what actually happened. So it is a lot. It is so much. And welcome to the Leen Team. Thank you for joining my one and only membership here on YouTube. I cannot imagine being around this couple. You can tell that the people surrounding Johnny Depp are exhausted from this shit. We haven't really seen a ton, obviously, in this case, Amber Heard. We haven't really seen any of her personal friends, or, I mean, the only person we've seen that worked for her is, you know, Kate James, and she hates her. She's like, she's a bitch. She didn't pay me dick. You know, she gave me $25 an hour. I'm worth more than that. I was doing her a charity because she was living in an apartment. So I was like, whatever, bitch. She didn't even pay me what I'm worth. Foster's Australian for beer. That's what I always have to do to get into my shitty Australian accent. But you can tell they're exhausted. I mean, the Alejandro, or whatever his name was, I forget, that little cutie that was in the car who like was hitting the vape. He was like, I'm over this. I'm so sick of this trial. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I have to actually work and earn a living. I don't get paid $22 million, or I don't get $7 million in a divorce settlement. I have to pay my taxes. I got to take care of myself. You know, my mortgage, got to pay it. Kate James is like, I'm not paying my mortgage. No, I didn't pay it because everything collapsed. And I got to do it. Didn't go do it. You know, I was just thinking of, I cannot play his content without, I appreciate it, but I just don't want him to strike the channel. Okay. I'm sure Foster's is like not a very, because it's not very good, Australian beer. I mean, they serve it at Outback. I'm assuming Australians are like, that's not for us. I don't know. But oh my gosh. It does sound country. My Aussie accent goes in and out. It goes in and out. Some lawyers say all there needs to be is one incident of abuse on Johnny's part for Amber to win. Holy shit. But the jury can still say they both lose or decide not to give it to Amber. Yeah. Wow. It is very interesting. We're definitely getting an education in all of this. I just love Kate James. She's my favorite. The audio from Australia would prove she's lying. Yeah, aren't they going to cut 2 of the jurors too? I think like 2 of them they are going to cut, right? Two won't make the cut. It's like American Idol of jurors. Now I want to see this. Now John's got me curious
I
about
want to get
this.
to this new audio as quick as I can.
All right, what is this audio?
White noise, no noise, cleaning sounds, and non-speaking to get choked, slammed, and dragged naked.
Oh yeah, so is this?
Calm her from her episode with Seroquel and
Okay, so I heard a little bit about this from the Popcorn channel. They played it. Yeah, so I have heard a little bit of this audio about the Seroquel, which again, Seroquel is an antipsychotic. And I was like, I don't want this. They gave it to me once upon a time, and I took it for like, I don't know, a week, and all I did was sleep. And I didn't like it. He was so funny, and he was so #relatable, you know? Oh, that's such a beautiful name. My first grandchild, her name, very similar to yours, by Jolie James. Oh my God, I love that name. I love the name Jolie. That's so pretty. That is so pretty. Congratulations. Linda says, I think they will both lose. Actually, they both have lost. I mean, they've lost so much already. And that's kind of what Johnny Depp said going into this, is that I've basically lost everything. So all I want is the truth. I want the truth out there. He wants that's just all he said, is he wants the truth out there. But this does not make Johnny Depp look good. I mean, granted, how can you look worse than a wife beater? You can't. So I understand what he's saying. You know, if he's like, I didn't do this, I want my name cleared. I have articles out there saying, you know, working. I mean, publications are publishing, you know, how can J.K. Rowling work with a wife beater? I mean, there's really not, there's like a couple things you could say about someone that's worse. And I don't want to say those things on air, but it's like, you know, harm on kids or things like that. But I mean, that's a very, very dark label cloud to fall, I mean, to have over you. And especially if it is not true. And that's, you know, kind of what we're watching and finding out and deciding on our own whether it is. So I can see where Johnny Depp's like, fine, play the tapes, play the worst of me. Because even if I mean, no one is surprised that Johnny Depp does drugs and drinks so much. I'm sad for him that he does as many substances as he does, because I do think that that only leads to bad decisions and surrounding yourself with not the right people. And for his kids' sake and for his own sake, and as a sober advocate myself, when you can't handle it, I would say get sober. And it seems as though, you know, he's had that issue. But same for Amber Heard. I mean, I would put her in the same category. The stories that I've heard and the behavior and the audio tapes, they are both not well when under the influence. They're not having fun times. They're not getting drunk, falling in a bush, and then, you know, falling asleep to Trailer Park Boys. They are breaking shit, yelling at each other, getting in fights, breaking up, making up, passing out face first in sand. Like, it's too much. It's got to stop now. It's got to stop. So I do hope that they both get sober after this. I really do. But this is, I just don't think it's not good for either of them. But again, you can't get much worse than what Johnny Depp was carrying with these allegations. So yeah, it's so crazy because it's such a interesting, it's a disgusting, messed up, toxic story. It's very Hollywood, very LA in, you know, the attention and all of that, and the money and the, you know, this happened on private planes and all these yes men that we're alleging were there and things. But I do wonder Hollywood's reaction to this, and if they will in fact cancel her if they decide, or if Johnny wins this case, or if the public completely decides that they don't believe her, which, I mean, seems like the public is headed that way. Will Hollywood follow suit? I'm assuming so, because money-wise, having her attached to anything, you will get a lot of backlash, and they don't want to mess with that. That's why they cut Johnny Depp so soon, because those allegations came out and they were like, nope. You know, a lot of companies, a lot of production studios, a lot of networks, they're, you know, they don't want to touch that, obviously. And it's all, you know, financial reasons. But it's so bad for women and men and people who are victims of abuse that you could possibly have someone who is not being honest about it. It is really, really bad, because it only encourages people to then go forth and say, well, people lie all the time. So then they don't take victims seriously. And it just makes it so much harder for people who have suffered DV and SA to come forward, tell their story, and be believed. And that's one thing that guy who invented Hollywood, the forensic lawyer who made all the deals and got the merch deal for Star Wars and stuff, who was just like, it was better back in the day, you know, now got all this Me Too stuff. I mean, it's one thing that he was kind of hitting on is that, you know, Me Too was a moment in Hollywood where people started getting heard in their stories of abuse and bad conduct. But you're always, in anything, you're always going to get a few slip through the cracks that are not for the right reasons. And this might be one of them. And it's just not good. It's just really bad. But unfortunately, that's where we might be at. You know, I can't either, Jay Nash. Being a turbulent marriage, such explosive ending, and then having to sit in the same room as the ex-spouse. That I could torture. I didn't even have explosive past with my ex like that, but I still wouldn't want to sit in a room with like the ex-boyfriend I had in my 20s. No. And then hear like our having recorded our dumb fights or something, or arguments. No way. But I just can't imagine even being in a marriage like that for any amount of time, let alone they're only married 15 months. And then, I mean, and she's, you know, saying that she wanted to sign the prenup. And I'm like, what? This just doesn't make sense. You know, it does, a lot of this does go back to the old Judge Judy saying, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. When a lot of things don't make sense, that just doesn't make sense. Why else would you marry someone that successful and that much older? These relationships, these Hollywood marriages with the big age gap and the big socioeconomic age gap are all financial contracts you're getting into for that reason. They're like business deals you make. I'm hot and young, you're older and rich. You know, granted, this isn't like a Erica Girardi, Tom Girardi quite. I mean, Johnny Depp at least is like, you know, was like the hot actor guy. But, you know, you marry these people because you wouldn't normally marry. I mean, Johnny's a little different in that he's attractive, but still there's still a huge age gap. And they constantly threw those things back and forth at each other. The things they were most insecure about, they threw back and forth at each other, like the age, him being old and fat. Then he called her fat. And then called her old too, because that in LA, you don't want to be fat, you don't want to be old. You can't age and you can't gain weight, or you're done. You know, only a few can really. I think it was like Alec Baldwin's line from 30 Rock when one of the characters gains a little bit of weight. She gains like 10 pounds. And he tells Tina Fey, he was like, she either has to gain 40 or lose 20. There's no in between in Hollywood. And there isn't in the entertainment business. Thank you, Diana Lee, for the super sticker. Still loving this Leen Team. So that just seems like why you would get in a relationship with someone so much older than you, and so much ahead of you in your career. And the same for the men, and sometimes it's women, you know, that are, you got the sugar mamas. And it is because there is this sense of, you know, someone's going to look up to you when you are more established and you have more money. There is something in Johnny Depp. What drew him to Amber Heard? Some people might say previous relationship with his mother, but what was it that really made him go for someone so much younger? And again, it's LA. So, I mean, that's kind of common in LA, but I mean, when he dated Winona Ryder, I think she was like 17 and he was 25, which, I mean, I wouldn't want my 17-year-old daughter, but then you see, you know, Lisa Rinna's daughter, who's like a model, whatever her name is, was dating Scott Disick, who's like damn near 40, and she's 19. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but these relationships are very transactional with the, you know, older, rich, established man and the young, hot woman. So, yes. Let's see what you guys are saying. Hitched herself. Callista Flockhart hitched herself to Harrison Ford. That worked out so far. What's the age difference between them? I have no idea. He wanted to feel young again. I mean, I think there's like lots of things. You know, she's got daddy issues. He's got mommy issues. Johnny Depp is like this perpetual, you know, he's kind of always going to be seen or want to be seen as like this young, hot Hollywood guy kind of, but it came up in the time when you didn't want to be in the tabloids. It wasn't to get famous, to just be all over the place. There was no Kardashian type fame yet. There, you know, that was frowned upon. You wanted to be famous, but for your work. And then you cared about like your movies, you know, like I'm going to do this indie. You got to be in a good indie movie. You got to, you know, it wasn't all about getting blockbusters and things like that necessarily. And you didn't want the paparazzi. You didn't call the paparazzi when you were going places, or most people didn't, you know? So, and then, you know, with Amber Heard, she came up in a different time when it was kind of be famous for any reason. Just be famous. Your name, get your name out there. Haters make you money. All these things that are kind of toxic. So yeah, she's hot. He can afford her. It's that simple. It's a simple LA math. You see it happen all the time. I can name a billion. I mean, I watch all the reality shows. You know, you got Lala Kent and that weird producer guy she was with for a minute. Lala from Vanderpump Rules. And then she was with that producer guy, whatever his name is, who looks like Big Ed from 90 Day Fiancé. And it's like no one would ever be with that guy. A hot lady like Lala had. And then before that, he was with the actress that's in You. And it's all money. He's a producer. He's got money. It's transactional. No, she didn't. No one minded the age when they're getting it. We're getting free rent, you know? I mean, she hasn't gone after poor men, and he hasn't gone after ugly women. And that is the LA, unfortunately, Hollywood relationship. You know? You never seen Johnny Depp with an ugly lady, and you never seen Amber Heard with a broke dude. Even James Franco's got a little bit of money in his pocket. He's got a little wham, as my grandpa says, walking around money. And then Elon Musk, I mean, that dude would never get laid if he wasn't a billionaire. No. After, you know, and he did have, you know, some hair stuff going on, which who cares? I don't mind a guy with a little hair stuff, but he did. And he put like rubbed a uterus or estrogen on his head or something. And then he got more hair. And now like hot women want to be with them. And it's like, if you didn't own Twitter, no, nobody, you would just be with a regular schmegular lady. So they all do it. Being famous is now a job. Oh my goodness. I know, it really is. It's like, oh, Dane Cook. Oh my God, gross. That was so gross. And it's almost, you know, Dane Cook, his story is interesting just from the aspect of me being a stand-up comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. Obviously, he's way more successful than me. But he really came up at a time where it was like True Religion genes, Affliction, and he got the young kids, kind of like Crystalia did, where you got like the young, cool, early 20-somethings. We're like, this dude's hilarious. All of a sudden, he's playing like Madison Square Gardens. He's playing stadiums like he's Eddie Murphy or something, or Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle. And I think that was before even Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock were playing stadiums. So just like he's Eddie Murphy, like he's Andrew Dice Clay in the 80s. And he's just like very, you know, he's this kid. And he's got spiky hair and Affliction and all that stuff. And then he gets older and he gets accused of, you know, joke thievery, and he kind of falls to the wayside, but he makes a lot of money. But now he's in his 50s and he's still like, I think I'm still that young guy. And it's like, but you're not. But you're not. And I think Johnny Depp will always think of himself too. He's kind of got that Peter Pan syndrome as well. You know, and you thought maybe it had been reined in when he was with his children's mother, Vanessa, and they were in France, but it was just that his life was very, he kept it very close to him, very much more secretive. They didn't, you know, his ex, Vanessa, I mean, you never heard her in the media trying to get attention, nothing. You know, she was, I think she's a singer in France, maybe a model. And they kept it very private. They kept their life very private. But I do think he does have a little bit of Peter Pan syndrome. Thank you, Rachel Scully. That is so sweet of you to say. I'm glad you are loving the channel. Hello, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe and hit the like, you guys. Vanessa seems really sweet. She really does. Franco is a whole creep, and Elon Musk he's very lucky he's rich, because otherwise, No, no, no. And so nice. And Danny DeVito got married. Well, Danny DeVito is charming AF. Okay. So, oh my gosh. Anna Nicole, yes, Anna Nicole. But that was still like the Anna Nicole days, that was still kind of frowned upon. Reality TV was still somewhat new. We had, The Real World, like our first kind of reality show. And then you get The Simple Life and you get the Paris Hiltons and Anna Nicole. And then she had a show and it was still like, you would laugh at it. But nowadays you can be in a reality show and tomorrow be in a major movie or television show. And you might be paid more actually to be in that reality show. John said, Jerry Judge, the doctor, the nurse, Ben, a couple other right after the Australia incident on the video, not one mention of any injury, not one thing said. I mean, from what I watched just of that video, now knowing what you sent to me and hearing Dr. Kipper talking in the background and the nurse talking, they sent her to bed and gave her a sedative. And if her feet were bleeding and all that stuff, you would think they would treat it. They would take her to the hospital as well. If you have glass possibly in your body, you have to go to the hospital. Again, I speak from experience. They have to get it out. And you would, but then on the other hand, I'm sure her team will say what they're trying to say is everyone was a yes man for Johnny. So they wouldn't have wanted to, unless she was bleeding profusely and going to die. Maybe they were just, their job was to protect him. But I don't know. Yes, Elon was going to be a witness and now he's not. Oh, I'm sure he doesn't want to be involved in this. No. Are you kidding me? Well, I guess it's subjective, because I'm sure Elon Musk isn't thinking I'm very cute. So there you go. You can definitely think he's cute. Who am I to say? Okay, we all have a type. Legally, Elon Musk looks like a Play-Doh project. Oh my God. You're hilarious. Yeah, Rhea Perlman, Danny DeVito's wife, is very adorable. And she's hilarious. Rashida says, the new leaked audio makes it clear she was okay. You could hear them sweeping the glass up. Oh, God. And her apologizing. Yep, I heard that. And I heard Dr. Kipper say she was acting out of guilt and talking about Amber. So it's like, where's Dr. Kipper? Is he in the UK testimonies? Was he involved in this trial? Am I forgetting Dr. Kipper? Do we have a pre-recording of him? Now I'm forgetting him. Now I'm getting my things mixed up. Well, that is, people start rumors and they say he might have donated some spermage, but we don't know. Okay, yeah, he was on video. Okay, yeah. Some of these just like, now I feel like after Johnny's testimony, after the psychologist, you have Hughes versus Curry, and now with Amber, everything is a blur. So I need a week to redigest this stuff. Do you know what if Amber's family still lives Johnny as she testified? Why would they ever testify against him and not just get up and tell the truth under oath that their daughter or sister's crazy? Well, her mom has passed, sadly. In 2020, she passed. You'd think the sister would testify. And I was so interested in what the dad has to say, because does the dad, and was this in the UK trial, does the dad confirm abuse? Does he confirm he was an abusive father to Amber? Because that would be, interesting to know. I mean, for, overall for this case, I mean, is that truthful? I hate to, I hate that this trial is like making us question people, like someone would lie about something so serious. But I don't know. Oh my gosh. I agree, Danny. I do not. If my husband was a juror on that, now listen, my husband though, he would not tell me because he works in the medical field and he doesn't tell me anything. And I want the deets on stuff, and he's like, I can't. I'm not telling you. And I'm like, oh, you're such a good person. But I would want to know. I would find ways to trick him into answering me. Okay. And yeah, I feel like, I don't know, if my friends were on, it's hard to believe that the jury's going to be able to avoid this case. It's everywhere. If they check their social media for a second, they're going to get a headline that pops up. And we all know that the headlines that are very repetitive and stuff, they turn into propaganda. And then all of a sudden that could, change someone's view. So. She's through the database. Legally, Leah, you're killing me. Oh my God. I think they both argued were physical. James says, I researched my jury duty case on the lunch break. See, I mean, and you're legally Leah. I mean, and you're all about the law. I feel like I missed what he said too. But I have seen people saying that they feel as though he dropped the ball and he could have said more. But I think he might have been afraid for his own career because, this kind of thing and these kind of allegations and being involved in it. And, as a professional, you do have to be careful. I mean, it can affect a lot of people's careers. Dr. Kipper and Nurse Debbie testified via Depo, but they didn't give much info. Kept saying, I don't recall. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, I didn't hear that. No. I thought Robert Durst, right? I completely forgot about the Durst thing and the HBO special. And now the staircase guy, there's a show on HBO they're doing about the staircase. I'm going to have to watch that shit. Dad wanted extra drugs. How could JD like her pa and like his mom, knowing what they'd done? It is a weird story. It's very strange because, I guess I don't know the specifics around her dad and the abuse. I just know that there were allegations out there, but it doesn't seem like so far with Elaine that with her, with Amber's testimony through Elaine that they're really talking about that. Part of me thinks that this is just me, speculating and me, objection, speculation, and me as an observer of this, but part of me thinks she believes what she's saying, if that makes any sense. And that there are many times where it seems like that's a lot, So, well, hello, Producer Tilly. Producer Tilly has entered the chat. That's usually when she's like, Mom, you've been on here way too long. Way too long. But yeah, it does feel very dramatic. The delivery of it is very strange. Yeah, it's off. Let's see. If she wins and the jury finds out all the information we have, they are going to hate themselves. I hope their names never get out. Yeah. Yes, Producer Tilly has entered the chat. Let's see if you guys can see her. Tilly. You see her little ear? There she is. Hello, Tilly. Welcome. Welcome. That's the question. She's claiming she only did it when she had to, like the sister incident. He's claiming not at all did he ever touch her. As of now, I feel as though there was just a lot of emotional and verbal abuse on both sides and very toxic. Like everyone's saying, I feel like that is just becoming so repetitive, but there's no other word than this relationship was so toxic. But yeah, I'm not sure. So remember the great Frank Costanza said, the best way to pass a lie detector was to believe the lies. I mean, it is true. It's true. So it's very interesting. It's interesting to go back and hear or compare kind of Dr. Curry's description of histrionic personality disorder and borderline and with some of the behavior we're seeing. It is very, very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so far, I mean, all we have is her word. We don't have anyone testifying so far saying it. I mean, I know previously, I think in the UK, her sister said she saw some stuff. But as for this trial, we don't really have anything. We have pictures, but we have pictures that some people say, oh, that could have been you got Botox, or that could be this, that. I don't know. Oh, didn't know. So what's happening? Mike Lindell will take the stand and say he has evidence that poop was on Amber's side under my pillow. Cross-examine. It's either going to be, I need this Amber Heard. I need it to be over. I need to move on to cross now. We need to get to the points quicker. That's why I appreciated, that sounds like such a dickhead thing to say, but I do feel as though Camille was right. It's like objection non-responsive, because you're not responding to the question at hand, which is just making it more confusing and not helping your case, you know? So we'll see. Oh, Tani says her brain cannot reconcile how she feels about any given situation versus reality of it. So she retells it in context of how she feels at the time of it, the story she hears in her head. That's interesting because someone was on YouTube was talking about, I don't know if it was one of the lawyers or the body language person, I can't remember, saying that when she retells things, she will say them not necessarily in the past tense, but kind of in the present, which can be an indication that it isn't true, I think they were saying. So, or similar to someone kind of adding to it. Yeah, the bottle thing was just very, I don't know. That is, producer Tilly has never left a grumpy in my bed. Sometimes she gets the not the ringy dingies, but what are they called? Chell.
Yeah.
What's it called when? Dingleberries. Never mind. Sometimes she gets dingleberries and they'll fall.
Why are you asking me? You're the champion of the dingleberries.
No, because they were asking about Tilly poop in the bed, and I said she gets dingleberries. Yeah, Camille's great. She's great. Ben King is the one who found his finger and took every photo in that house after it was destroyed. He was also in charge of repairing it. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, you guys. I should take off. It is very fun and interesting talking about all of this with you. Thank you for joining. How much time they have left? She says, I will cut off the witness during testimony. No more cutting in this damn case. Yes. He calls me out all the time. That's marriage. But you don't scream at each other. You don't get drunk and throw shit at each other. And you talk it out, okay? You don't call each other names. I think that's one of the main things that I hope people realize. If you're in a relationship where someone is calling you names or you're calling someone names or you're pointing out someone's biggest insecurities, that is not love. That is the worst thing you can possibly do. You're supposed to feel safe and secure. You're not perfect. You're going to get in arguments. You're going to get upset with each other. You're going to get annoyed with each other. That's part of it. You know, you're with someone nonstop and you're living with them. And essentially, if you get married, you agree to be together forever, you know? But you should never be using each other's insecurities against each other. That should be your safe space. you and your husband or you and your wife or whatever, like that should be the place you feel you're safest. If you're with someone who points out these negative things about you or wants you to feel bad about yourself or knows your insecurities and then make sure to say that to you, that person is a dickhead and they are not for you. And that's I hope there's like, objection overruled. I hope there is, you see this kind of toxic relationship and you can identify, have you ever been in something like this in the past? Have you or someone you're in a relationship with spoken to each other like this? Because it is so bad. It is so freaking bad. And it is so unhealthy and dysfunctional. You can get mad, but you should never be so hurtful to each other. And if you do get to that point and you still want to make it work, seek a good therapist. Get a marriage and family therapist. None of the ones that these people have seen. Maybe Dr. Curry, because she teaches gamut, something, couples therapy. Yeah, you protect each other. That's supposed to be like my husband. I want that to be like the place I go to. Like, that's my safe space. He knows all my flaws. I know all his flaws, and we love each other regardless, and we help each other be the best people we can be. Hopefully not every day. I mean, we do emotionally eat together and we're bad influences on each other with that thing sometimes. But for the most part, I trust that he's not going to attack me. He is not going to use my insecurities against me, and that he's going to listen to me, and I'm going to do the same for him and all that BS. Okay. So you guys yes, you're a marriage and family therapist. Rashida, that makes so much sense. That's why you are so insightful. That makes so much sense. I love marriage and family therapists. They're the best. The freaking best. And they're essential. I think every couple should just see one for a little bit, because people think therapy has to be forever, or you're going to get thrown on drugs or something. You're not. I think being able to communicate with your spouse, your significant other, your life partner, whatever it may be, maybe you got 2 life partners. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, but go talk about things. Go find out how each other communicates so you can communicate with each other, because there's some ways in which we push stuff down, or we, and we build up resentment. We don't even realize we're building up resentment. And then it leads to toxicity. So you just, again, I'm a comedian. What the F do I know? My husband's a comedian, but we also have jobs, not that that's not a job, but you know what I'm saying? I do think it's important that people seek some kind of talk therapy. Find someone you like. It's like dating. You got to find not the first therapist. You might find, you might get a Dr. Hughes and you might not like her, but maybe you'll find someone you do like, which is kind of sad because Dr. Hughes seems to be very, very qualified, but her testimony was just a mess. And I'm like, oh no, girl. Oh no. Thank you, Realification, for the super chat. Oh my God, I just woke up. My old computer died a few weeks ago and I don't have the settings right on my new PC to give me a wake up alarm. I'm old. Congratulations on 23K subs. Thank you. Hopefully we can hit 25. That's my next goal. We're inching our way to 25K. Do a cuddle puddle. If you or your significant other are mad, no, never do a cuddle puddle. You are asking for trouble. I told my husband wanted to go on Survivor and I said, you better cuddle with a dude. Okay. And because if I'll be looking at the camera to see if you're cuddling with someone, to see if you're getting boners, like I will be looking. Because they all have to cuddle with each other on Survivor. But yeah, also don't be too jealous. You could totally go on Survivor, but I'll keep an eye. Okay. So yeah, no cuddle puddle, but oh my God. Yeah. Don't go to a doctor. There's so many life lessons that can be learned from this case. Don't go to a doctor that gives you lingerie. Don't even go to the same doctor as your spouse or whatever. I mean, I guess if that works for you, depending on your town, but if you're in a big city like LA, there's no reason to be seeing the same damn doctor. Get your own doctor. Get someone who makes you feel comfortable, someone you can go to and confide in. That was weird too. That's very codependent. And we have a lot of codependent tendencies in this case, which if you come from a family of addicts, that you got to break that shit. You got to break that stuff. All right. Yeah. Don't do MDMA on your wedding day. And don't have cuddle puddles. Don't talk disgustingly to each other. And don't take pictures of each other passed out. And if you're really worried about someone, get them into rehab. Don't just take weird pictures of them. That's creepy. All right. This has been so fun. 3 hours in, our longest Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial stream. Hopefully you guys had some laughs. Hopefully we had some good conversations. I think we did. Make sure you smash the like. Leave a comment on your way out. I'll be back soon for more on this and the many other things that I cover on this channel, and the comedy that we try to make and the laughs we try to have. Please follow me on the social media, you guys. I appreciate it. It's awesome. Mostly Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok. And I would love if you shared out the channel if you get a minute. If not, have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. And remember overall to enjoy yourself because it's later than you think. Good night.
If you like what you see.